It's not unusual to have fun with anyone. Do. It's not unusual to go out with anyone. But if I see you hanging around anyone, it's not unusual to see me cry. I wanna die. Hit you with that Tom Jones, baby. I don't know if I want this shit in my clothes. Second thought. Man, that looks really cool on there. Damn, that looks really cool. What a movement. That's cool as shit. Wow, it's like a purple. Hey, Derek. Thank you. Rocky, what's happening? James. I won with Arkansas money line of Houston. Any picks for tomorrow? Yeah, we'll look at it tomorrow. Uh, we'll definitely look at it tomorrow. Let me get some more of these vibrations in, though. That's nice. Well, all right. This is the Chocolate Mom Show. I am your host. A Wind is timeless. It all starts with a gentle sadness. I am the holder of the continuous ball game of the Hero Twins. I am your galactic daddy-o, sitting on my galactic patio from Minnesota to the universe. How is your funk? Oh, yeah, I won money today. To James's question, one thing that y'all, everything was under today. The first game was 92. And I'll tell you, the center for Oklahoma, he was definitely point shaving. He made in the final critical minutes, he did 2-1 fouling the other team. Hey PJ, he did 2-1s for the other team where he fouled stupid fouls. One time he's way bigger than dude, should have blocked his shot. And he threw a stupid ass turnover. And he missed a close in layup. So, oh, and tonight, I do like my Guinness Stout. Yeah, the sports betting plug. Hey, we put it together. Hey, my bracket, my son followed my bracket, so I know his busted. But down to the serious games, I'm not really that far off. I've still got Gonzaga and Michigan like head up coming out. So I am still kind of in it. So pop them if you got them, smoke them if you want them. So not really bad day today. Not really bad day because the first game was 92. The over and under on the Baylor game was 145. It came in at 141. Where else did I come? And the last game that just got over was 108. And I think this one was 140 something too. I'd have to look it up, but it was under. So it looks like all the games were under today. let me see, I'm missing 4 games. I'm missing one. Where was it? 1, 2. Okay, yeah. Because so Arkansas game was under. It was 145, and it came in at 142. So all the games was under. So under seemed to be the bet, and I won on those. I won on all the games today. Not bracket wise, you had to rebet. I bet the bracket, but I also rebet. So yeah, I won money on everything today as well. But the under, looked at it again, and I knew that game was going to be under. The first game surprised me a little bit, and I held my breath, and they only scored 92 points. Second game, the Baylor game got really close. I think it was 145, 140, 141, and it came in at 113. So it was 141, it came in at 113. So it was the under. And so it makes me wonder if tomorrow they're going to do the opposite. It's all the games tomorrow going to be over, because that's kind of how they do it. So now going into tomorrow's game, let's see. It seemed like it should be up here. I think it's the same one I had yesterday. We should be able to get, South Regional. Yeah, so the Baylor game, 158, way under. Matter of fact, on this, let me see the Baylor game. Which one was that one? Baylor was second. The Baylor game, they covered. Baylor covered. Baylor actually covered too. So Syracuse and Houston, they covered. Yeah, Syracuse and Houston was 140. So it came in at 108. So Creighton and Gonzaga is 13. They're given 13. So they're given 13. And the over and under. So the money line is minus 1,000. Gonzaga, Creighton 650. So basically, if you giving up 13. So, but 157 is the over and under. And I wonder, because sometimes they keep it. It appears like what they do. So if this game is over, then all games is going to be over. I'm just kind of wondering if that's going to be the agenda, that all the games are going to be over. Then USC and Oregon, again, they do not expect them to score very much, 138. And this one's kind of a push because they're giving USC 2. They're giving USC 2. I don't know. That seems like a push. So I don't know. Would I give USC 2? Yeah, I probably would. Take Oregon and give up the 2. And I don't know. I'm wondering about that one. Let me think about that one a minute. And USC and Alabama, or UCLA and Alabama, I have still not been impressed with UCLA. They're giving up 7. I think I would give UCLA 7. 146. Still, it seems high. A lot of these teams ain't shooting good. And if they don't shoot well, there's a lot more pressure. So I'm just wondering if it's going to be another under day. Florida State and Michigan, they're giving Michigan 2.5. I'm giving Florida State 2.5. I think Michigan is going to beat them. And again, 143. I'm just looking at this, and it just makes me think. Now, the only game, okay, so they're saying is that the only game that's going to score a lot of points is UCLA. I don't think so. I think Alabama will shut them down. They haven't shot the ball very well. Florida State, this is the most, let me see, this is the highest seeded game, would be Florida is the highest seeding team. And so they're giving 143. Now remember, 70 and 70 is 140. So we just need both teams to score more than 70 or the combination of, Oh, who's Rocky? I think I said what's up with the Rocky. You always winning money on games. Well, my bracket didn't win, but just it's a continued thing. You can still bet, But I'm doing all right, man. I study this stuff. Do you think they let Houston win because of the tragedy they had this year? No. Well, remember Calvin Simpson was at Oklahoma, and remember he had all that trouble at Oklahoma. No, it was Indiana. Calvin Simpson had that Indiana. Matter of fact, when he went, because he had to stay off for a few years or show cause. Remember, he was at Indiana. So I looked at that. Remember, he used to coach at Indiana. He had all that recruiting violations. They're back in Indiana. That's why I think they let him go, or what that was about. But they got a good team. I mean, they got a good team. Like that final play was a kind of a cool play because, dude, did you know? I don't know if y'all noticed this, but the guard with the just the braids, he didn't really have dreads. He just kind of had it twisted up. Number 4, maybe number 3, 4. He beefed one time with the ref in the second half, like with the last 4 minutes. He's like, "You didn't give me the call." The ref. Now in the jump ball situation, he did dive on dude, but it was another time. Oh, matter of fact, he almost got like 3 fouls in a row. Remember the jump ball where they all dived on the ground? He got called for a foul there. He went tried to get a charge, and they called a block. I thought he was there. I really did. I thought he was there because when they showed the basket position, he was standing there, and dude just piled into him. So, do you think they let? So, Houston was a better team. Houston was. Oh, but I was going to get. So when like but he had the mismatch. He had the one small guard that I showed that the shot angled. He had him on him, and he just took him. That bigger guard just took him. And then so next time down, everybody was kind of collapsing on him. And then he dished it to his guy. And if his guy would have been right-handed, he would have been stopped. But because he was left-handed, dude kind of leaned right. Again, it's probably you face mostly right-hand cats. And so he was able to slide to his left, and he threw it up. It was a sweet shot, really good shot. Michigan -2, USC -2, Alabama money line, Gonzaga money line. Yeah. Well, they're giving, matter of fact, right here 2.5. So, hey Eric, thank you for joining me. Jaru, maybe that is his name. Hey PJ. So, but the big man for Oklahoma State, it almost seemed like he was point shaving. He was so bad, it seemed like he was point shaving. Like the and one he gave just made no sense. It's like, why not block the shot? But he did. And then remember when he got pressed, his guy was right in front of him. He threw it to the right. He missed a by himself layup. I'm like, look at this here. But I think he was trying to keep him, because I thought he was pushing for the over. That's what it looked like to me, like he was setting up to be over. But yeah, all the games followed under. So all the games followed the under. Interesting thing today. But anyway, I watched them all. You know, usually I take naps and listen to the game, but today I actually watched them all. So fun day of hooping. And then they play what, Monday too? They play tomorrow. They must play Monday and Tuesday. Yeah, I think they play Monday and Tuesday. And then the Final Four will be next Saturday. Next Saturday. Yeah, it'd be a game Saturday and a game Sunday. Or is it both games Saturday? And then the championship would be that Monday night. And if you don't have cable, your ass is out. Unless you got we got one little thing, my guy, and I got my best friend hooked me up with a thing. But lately they've been kind of funky about it. Want you to put in credit cards and stuff. Like, yeah, you're not getting that. So most fights and stuff we get for free. So it was exciting games. It was exciting games today. Where am I at? Kind of lost my place. And I watched I'm up to 2 hours with the Superman movie, Justice League. Yeah, 2 hours to go. But Bohan's son is trash. They tried to hype him up 2 years in a row. He's a big guy though. That dude must be 6'7". He looked like he's standing 6'7", but they didn't have enough firepower. They didn't have enough firepower. Faced a better team. I mean, Houston was definitely the better team. They struggled during the year. So Wasn't surprised, but his numbers, I mean, the first two games, he put up numbers. So he'll do well. He'll get drafted. I mean, his daddy been there. His bad daddy been in Syracuse since the early 60s. He's been coaching for 45 years. He hooped there. So, you know, he was going to go there. I liked what they were showing with Carmelo Anthony. He was 3 years old. He had Carmelo's college jersey on when they won the finals, and he was teasing him. And it was interesting. It showed compassion with Carmelo. It really did. He was teasing the little guy, and that's what you have to understand is when you play with these teams, and you know, like a lot of the coaches come into your homes, they meet your family. You meet their families because you be doing stuff as teams. You do things, and there's functions where they bring their families, so you meet them. Like I was saying, when my boys was little, and I was coaching high school basketball, the boys were 2 and 3, and they was in the gym with everybody. When my son, like one time I made my son was in 5th grade, I made him play with the JV team. We had like a 5 or 6 game. I couldn't tell you how many games we played, but he was in 6th grade and he's playing against 10th graders, ninth graders going up. And he was crying because I only had probably 6 people too. So I needed an extra player to play in the tournament. And I was like, play, you'll be fine. Just play. And he's like, oh, these guys are so much older and I can't do anything. Just play. You'll be fine. So, that, and then the games, my woman came, my daughter's mother would come to the games. My daughter she was a week old and I was reffing a volleyball game. And my daughter, my middle daughter, she ended up, we took the baby to the game. So, when I was with her, she was in the gym constantly. Hey, Sebastian, thank you for joining me. AYT, thank you for joining me. And thank you for the questions last night. I appreciate, thank you guys. It's funny. I tried to time out Spiral Glyph. I think he gave me the thumbs down, but when you're trolling, I mean, it takes concentration when she does the things she does, and then you trolling. And why are you trolling? You've come in here every other time and been cool, and so I didn't understand why he chose that time to troll. Nobody really wanted to hear about his lady man. You remember the movie The Ladies Man? He was trying to put his ladies man. Really? Okay, that's ego. That's ego. You wanted attention. I don't get it. Oh, the vape. Yeah, I like those too. Hey, Greg, thank you for joining me. Oh, definitely cancel that shit. I saw that shit. But let me answer him first. You managed to find a plug for those THC carts for vape pens? Okay. Like I said, I deal with the crumble and the wax. I got a pen. My little thing is in there. It's full, and it stopped working. It was like, I don't know. I couldn't get it to melt right, whichever kind of rig I tried it on. And it was the sleepy kind anyway. Now, one, it still hits just a little bit of the shit in there, and it still hits. But the other one, I like this a little better. Plus, those was getting clogged up on me. But it's, each his own. But what did he say? I looked at that shit today. But the shoes, did y'all check out the shoes? The 666 shoes. And it's really nothing with the pentagram, but the little pentagram on the shoes, and that don't really mean what they try to make it mean. And then they said blood in the goddamn shoes, and I'm thinking, how? The only kind of blood that you really can that would be widely you could use is cow blood, because they use cow blood in a lot of makeup. When I was doing quality at the slaughterhouse, the only thing they wasted was hip bones, but everything else they used everything, blood. All the other kind of bones, they used every other bone but the hip bone. But there was a big tankers that sucked the blood and took it somewhere. So they say they used them in lipstick. They use blood in lipstick. I didn't know that. It's kind of gross. But the rest of the shit, the fractals they was using, I'm gonna say this. What did Eddie Murphy say? Evil is good. Good and evil is if you accept good, you accept evil. But because a part of you, like to whoop a nigga's ass, you want a little evil to whoop a nigga's ass, to jump on somebody, you want a little evil to defend yourself. But wicked is another thing. Wicked is on a whole nother level. And what he portrayed was totally wicked in every way aspect. But we see what happens to people. We see what happens to people when people sell. I mean, he obviously has sold his soul. He has no trouble. I mean, what did he say? He wanted to fuck dudes that he admired, not regular dudes anymore. He wanted to fuck dudes he admired. So, but it was just like, wow. And that's on, but it gets into, so you let that play on this thing. You let that play on this, but you take all my 3,000 videos down. The only thing I could really say that I did wrong since 17, that channel been up since 17, my man James pulled out a gun. He showed his gun. That's again, but they didn't even give me a thing for that. I didn't even get anything. And I showed mine. I did like this. And you couldn't tell. You're not supposed to show. You're supposed to show guns are cleared. So that's another thing. So you couldn't really tell if either gun was loaded or not loaded, because mine was like this. I showed it like that because I generally keep a little 38 in my pocket, you know. So I just, but you take my shit down, but you allow that. You allow that shit, and you took my shit down. But the fractals too. I mean, the fractals, even Preacher fractals wasn't that foul. When Preacher was on, that was some wicked shit. I mean, really on a whole nother level of wicked and trying to make people wicked. And now one thing Awakened One didn't talk about is Marduk. He's in all that. That's Marduk. And what was interesting, he took the horns from Marduk. Now that part caught my attention. I was like, he's showing Marduk being knocked off. So it's going to, I use pin, let me see. Please destroy Little Nas. Oh, okay, Valerie. I will post it again. I will post it again. Maybe I put a number wrong or something. I'm sorry. I will post it again. TSL sports are scripted. Destroy this. Yeah, I'll tell you. It is just a trip. I use the pen, and man, oh man, yeah, it's good to be a hybrid. Yeah, it's good to get a hybrid stream. Indeed, it is. Is Little X gonna be? Is this going to be his blood? I don't know. It didn't say. The shoes all got a drop of human blood. I think that's illegal. Ooh, allegedly, yeah. I don't. That's illegal. That would be illegal. Can we expose sports soon on a stream? Yeah, if you'd like to, TSL. If you would like to join me, you can send me an email. The weed from dispensaries give me a different high than the homegrown I buy from the homies in the street. I kind of find that too. It was like we was getting the paint. We was getting it. Now the drops was cool, but then I was getting the butter from people, and I love the butter. Put the butter in your coffee. You put some butter in your coffee, it'll keep you buzzed almost all day. So I preferred it. It's more expensive too from the dispensary. They use cow blood and foreskins in makeup. Wow, that is so gross. Hey, Demontan 23. How does one tap into the necessary evil needed to adequately defend themselves? That's a good question. Well, it's like at a certain age, combat becomes real. It's not the fighting anymore. When you get a certain age, combat becomes, you don't really fight. I mean, I know I talk about fighting in college, but once I got out of college, combat with people wasn't just fighting. It was combat. It was survival. And so you have to have the type of mind that will take away your humanity. Because if you have to fight to the death, you have to take away your humanity, because really it's not in your nature to kill. It's not really in your nature to defend your life to kill. Not really. That's why you need that little bit of evil in you, because you have to defend your life. And the rationale is in live and let die has to go away. And it really has to be a little evil in you to want to take someone else's life while you're defending yours. I mean, think of a dude in your house and you just like, you put the heat on him and you just supposed to let him go. Do you know how most people don't pay enough attention to just put heat on somebody and put them out your house? It's better just to pop his ass. It's better because you can shoot somebody. If somebody break in your house, you can shoot them. Now, you know, there's the movie where the dude broke in his house, dude ran out, and then he smashed him in the head with something, and then he ended up going to jail. And this is what they told me in the police academy: drag him back in the house. If you did pop somebody outside, they'd be like, drag him back in the house. Say you did it in here. So that's what I mean. Hey, Tiger Strong, that's what I mean. So that's how you would do it. Is like don't and it will help take away some of that fear and some of that, seeing red, because fear close you into this. It'll take away all your this kind of stuff. It will take all that away. You'll get tunnel vision. So you have to have that little bit of fear in. You have to have a little bit of evil in you to go through something like that. I mean, war, you have to, like, if you was in war, you would definitely have to almost be running on evil, because you just there to destroy people. There's no rules in war. There are no rules. They talk of like the Geneva, that shit's out the fucking window. When you going to kill, you just kill. It ain't no rules. How does one run the world? They do. They run Hollywood for sure, and sports. They got the Holy One, another pair of the Max 97s. They call them the Jesus 97s the last year. On the price for those Satan 97s is $1,000. Break that number down. Wow, 9. Well, you could go places too. You go 1, 2, 3, 4 places, and then you got 9. Huh. Preacher was way controversial shit. Made me cringe. I love Preacher. That shit was kind of good. In a lot of ways, that shit was kind of good. It made you think. I still got all them taped. Yeah, Preacher was controversial. Yeah, Little Nexus Energy Signature. Wow. I really hate that dude. Me too, CJ. Thanks you for joining me. KJ. Hey, KJ, thank you. Probably Caucasian Jewish recessor, probably so. Hey, Alita, what do you think about NBA Youngboy? He got some time for guns, and that doesn't make sense. Like, why? Like, he already had a case on him, but like when he got caught initially, I'm not understanding like why. It seemed like he got set up by somebody. Somebody probably got a hand in his money, probably set him up. Again, I don't follow these cats that much. Just kind of caught it, other people talking about it. So Youngboy bragged about signing his deal in blood letters. Yeah. He gonna fold eventually. Weed, butter, and coffee. Yeah, oh yeah, Rocky. It'll keep you going all day. If you got some good weed butter, it'll keep you going all day. Because most of the time the weed butter is like 90. Like this stuff, all I got is 90-some percent, 95, 90, something like that. Make sure you're not smoking no hot dog water cartridge. Young boy brag. Okay, the coconut butter and coffee taste better. I like that weed taste. I like the weed taste. If it ain't thick, I don't mess with it. There you go. I'm gonna blow back out the dough. I gotta blow his ass back. There you go, Valerie. Blow him out the dough. That's right. I remember when working in this factory. This guy brought THC, but everybody was lining up to get some of their morning coffee before clocking in. Heard they've been trying to make him do a blood sacrifice. They said been his ass since. Young boy wants his masters, but he's going to get it. He's not going to get it. I think you're right, Valerie. Evil is a myth. If we look at it from a state of compassion, it has no effect. We haven't walked in their shoes. Evil is a myth. If we look at it from a state of compassion, it has no effect. Okay. But if you accept good, you have like happy. If you accept happy, you have to accept sadness. They go together. The love is supreme. It has no opposite. Joy and pain don't go together. Joy, bliss, these things don't have opposites. But happy, sad, good, evil. So you have to accept both. But compassion, where would compassion fall in? Where would compassion fall in? If you're in a situation to save your life, compassion would stop you from acting. Because if it comes a thing of kill or be killed, you can't have compassion. You can't your humanist, you can't, your humanity, you have to put that out the window to kill. You can't have any compassion to kill. Now, if you injure somebody and they down, that's when compassion would come in. You ain't got to shoot them again. You tell them to come get them or you leave them. But if it's kill or be killed, there's no compassion in that. You try to kill them without question. She means his master's in his music. He wanted his master's music. Hey, Gene, thank you for joining. Understand, Mocha, thank you for joining. So that's some things to consider. But it just shows you the wickedness in the world and what's accepted and what's not accepted. Hey, Jim 21, thank you for joining. You know, I want to say, you guys don't have to put your ages, but if you are, here we go. I found this interesting. I look at one of the analytics. They say people from 25 to 35. So if you guys are fitting between 25 and 35, shoot up a 1. If you 25 to 35, shoot up a 1. Let me see, Valerie, and I'm gonna look up her address for you or her email, and I'll just say it. Oh, it's got to be in this phone. It's in this one. I think she emailed me in this one. Let's see. I think it's on here. Oh, she sent me a text. Which phone did she send a text? I think it's here. I don't know. Might be on that one. Right here. I think I got it. All right. Valerie, are you ready? Well, I'll try to, my typing. So Valerie, if you're ready, I'll give it to you again. So the email is awakened, AWAKENED. I'm pretty sure this is a 0 and not a O. 111141 at gmail.com. So it's awakened, AWAKENED 01111 at gmail.com. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, that's cool. That's cool. So that's cool. Well, I mean, whoever wants the information, I'm glad to try to give it. I'm glad that people can relate. I mean, and again, you know, my children range from 9 to 31. So he wants to master to his music because he doesn't have them. That's generational wealth for his children. That's where you get the bulk of your money from. Yeah, exactly. Yep, owning the masters because you keep getting money through the years. I think Jimi Hendrix's sister ended up getting his masters as well. And this is the where she got the money. She got the masters for the bootleg stuff. Like King Curtis, he had a lot of bootleg stuff where he tricked Jimmy into recording. And I don't know, Jimmy couldn't have been that naive because on the tape it goes, you're not recording this. And King Curtis goes, just jamming. But I think Jimi Hendrix's sister got everything. I think she got even the bootlegs. They went after all the stuff. And I think I'm going to order this Jimi Hendrix. When Jimi Hendrix first went to England, he wore this military jacket. It's got the braiding, and it's got the braiding across here in the buttons. If I get that, I have to bust that out. Thank you. One of the E's on the end. Missing one of the EDs on the end. Okay, you know my dyslexia. It'd be hard. That's why I know I had a hard time copying stuff as a child. Now it all come to light. I have a hard time copying things. It was like sending stuff. I have a mental block about sending stuff. I don't know what it is. I just put it off. But trying to get better. I sent my brother something. I need to send my one friend something because he sent me stuff from all over the world. So I've got to send him something. I've got to send Crazy Sarge something. And then Awaken one, she's going to get my big mirror. I'm going to send my big mirror to her because I use my 5-inch mirror more than anything. The big one, it isn't that great anyway, but I think she'll get a kick. And the other one, I really didn't need 2 3-inch ones, so I am eventually going to send it to Crazy Sarge. Okay, Jason says he's that age too. At Valley McDaniel, thanks for the clarity. Okay, YT. Oh yeah. Thank you for the email was missing. Yeah, so but I think she did a good job. She's trying to do her thing, get her thing out here. She's got an equipment and she's got a lot going on. So yeah. And we've been friends like 14, 15. Let me tell you what they did to her though. She started this group on Facebook, and I think she made a little money on the group. And a lot of Pakistanians, a lot of Indians kept coming in the group, and I think they own something she started. And there's thousands of people in this. I used to get things because I was administrator of that, but they took it over. They took control of it from her, and yeah, and they kicked her out of it where she couldn't even go into it. I see it every now and then. That for a long time they were still asking me to yay or nay people, but now I see that I don't anymore. So, but that's what they did. She started something, and she was like wanting to recruit people. I remember she got upset with me because she's like giving me names to go recruit people. Like, baby, that ain't my thing. I was just telling her I was, but it really wasn't my thing. Just like sending, messaging people, will you join? That just really wasn't my thing. She got mad at me, but I was like, sorry, that's not me. I really wasn't going to go above and beyond for that. But as you see, we've made up and we're cool. I hear from her. She texts me almost every other day. So, but she knows her stuff. I try to bring people that know their stuff, and she knows their stuff. We were talking about, I know James had asked about Voodoo, and something I forgot my grandmother did, and I want to share this. So my grandmother was from Louisiana, and she was taught that stuff. She was taught that stuff, like putting salt on the doorway. She like, even when she became Pentecostal and she started preaching and everything, she never quit doing that. But I forgot one time everybody got sick. And so in the back door, she put, and that's the way we came. The children always came through the back door instead of around the house to the front. We always would go through the back. But I remember one time she stopped us from going to the back. She put this string. And again, everybody was sick. And I mean, everybody. My uncle had like 6 or 7 children. He was sick. His wife was sick. The children were sick. We were sick at my house. And so I think my grandfather was sick. So she put this string across the back door and she put this little figure. I remember that. And then she did that at everybody's house. She put like a string and a little figure. And I know my brother don't remember that because I was young. But I remember that she put the string across the door and she put a little figure. We couldn't go in that back door. She put them somewhere else in the other houses. She didn't put them across the doors in our houses. But at her house, I remember for a minute, we couldn't go through the back door. But she put that string there and everybody got better. I remember that. We all got better. But I just remember, just talking about it last night, I remember seeing that string there. And I would ask her, like I used to always ask her, like, why are you putting this salt down? She would explain it. She would do little things, and I'm like, why do you do that? And she was explaining, she's like, well, this will help keep this away from you. Like if we had bad dreams or something and got to talking about it, she would give us stuff, or she would go to our beds and she would put some stuff on the bed or put some stuff under the beds. I mean, she was real, but it's like I was glad she shared because she gave me, and then when we got to asking her about the dials and stuff, she didn't hedge, she talked about it even when we was older and I started asking her about the dials and stuff, like what did you do? And then she explained it. Like when I saw the magicians, when they were saying you got to have a vent, you got to have somewhere for this energy to go. It's just like a luck charm you do. Like these are considered charms. They don't tell you that, but some places they show charms. So I was trying to explain that to a dude. He had the Jesus head on one day, and these are considered charms. Like you see a woman wearing something off a chain, that's always looked at as a charm. But that goes back to kind of voodoo in a way. You would wear something that would block spirits from you. So got a little taste of that from her. And then my grandfather, he came at a lot of different ways in Mississippi. He came out of it. He put more, not just voodoo, but he really got into the magic of just magic in general. So had a little bit of had a lot of that shown early. And then my great grandfather was just a straight healer. He was just a straight healer. It didn't matter if it was animals. He was just a healer. So what was the meaning of the cross as a necklace? What was the meaning of the cross? Well, like the thing, see, the charms can be negative charms too, because if you wearing that man dead on you, what do you really think that means? What do you think that means? It's a type of hex. So it could be a negative charm too. Uh, Necklaces with a cross, yeah, but like if you wearing just the cross itself mean motion. You know, you put it sideways and you mean motion. It's directions, you know, north, south, east, west, earth, earth, wind, fire, ether. I mean, it all means all that too. That it's like just like they took over the swastika. The swastika means the same kind of motion. It ain't like it. You wouldn't be if you see Indian dudes. They have swastikas on them. It don't mean see what they try to do is they try to take over these signs and make them like they own them. I mean, most people think that's Aryan stuff. It's way older than that. They try to claim it, but they can't say anything when they see Indian dudes because they've been using it longer than them. And again, in the Americas, it's I don't know if I had a motion symbol near me. I don't even know if I have the motion. Let me see if I have the motion symbol in this book here. But it's that's why when they came to America and they were showing the cross, people understood the cross, but the cross didn't mean death. Here it means death and suffering. Why would you want that suffering? Yeah, there's not a sign for it in this one. Yeah, I don't even think it's in that one. Yeah, it's no sign in this one. This is just the symbols. Goes back. I don't even think in this one. I don't even think in this one I have any pictures of motion. Now this is just the wave harmonic. Just the wave harmonic. Motion, kind of motion too. You want to say your soul, what your soul would look like. You move it kind of like that. But the true, like one's called Quetzalcoatl's cross. I don't think I have that. Because actually you don't even have to cross it, you know, to show north, south, east, and west. You don't even have to cross it. North, or, you know, earth, wind, fire, ether. You don't even have to cross it. You can just box it. Like right now where I've got this, these little, these are just boxed around me because everything is basically a box. You look at, ain't nothing but boxes around us. Everything is squared. They put everything as a damn casket around you. And I don't think there's any pictures of motion in this one. Oh, here's one for you. See, they want to tell you, like this calendar up here, but there's a bunch of calendars, and here's some other ones. This one says the Mayan star signs, but they're also looked at. There's calendars too attributed to them. So, oh, this one, let me see. This one's pretty good. You know, if you don't want to get the whole Pape Ball, this give you a lot of the stories. And then I show this one every day. I work out of this one every day. And I think I got my glyph book. All right, here we go. Let's see, I even be fucking with the glyphs. And the glyphs are pretty spot on. A lot of the same glyphs mean a lot of the same thing. Like when you get a Kniche, you know, star face, it's a lot of symbols that show you that. So I study this. I got a book from Texas. I need the study book from it because it doesn't really, it has things to do and it doesn't tell you what to do. They have stolen everything. That's true. The rapper helped usher into a trend. Just a silver chain for me. There you go, Chris. What's better, Sugarite necklace or Sugarite bracelet? I would say the bracelet would be easier to wear with everything. You know, sometimes the necklaces you really can't wear with everything. Like if you like, I don't really care for collared shirts, but if you
Like a fucking
if you wear
like a
if you
Minnesota.
don't wear collared shirts, then a necklace is fine. But it just depends on your personal style.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
Wait,
talking.
no, it's serious.
Stop. It just depends on your personal style. You can wear the bracelet more places than you can wear the necklace. Both of them will give you equal protection, though. Both of them would give you equal protection. Just see how the necklace would, how you feel, because again, it will ground you, but it also raise you. So keep that in mind. The necklace might be a little too much. You might start feeling flighty. It's hard to say, but I would say just easier wear would be the bracelet, the easier wear. Just depends how you dress too. If you wear collared shirts, you know, what would you want that for unless you're gonna wear it under? You know, that's the thing. Well, so I would just say you could wear the bracelet more. 666, same with the number. Hey, what's up, Nick? Thank you. And I'm sorry, Nick, I wasn't trying to throw her off, but I have trouble with Pan Africans. And when she said that, you know, that we did healing and it comes from Africa, no, that ain't true. We was doing healing in America. So it's no disrespect to you, but and that's, you know, and then to say Chinese on the East Coast, ain't no Chinese healers on the East Coast. So no disrespect, Nick, but she was a Pan African. And again, if you look at the numbers of who came to America, you know, a few years ago, the numbers was like 200,000. Now it's even lower than that. It's only like about 80, 90,000 Africans came into America. Again, why would you need, when you slaving tribes that lose, why would you bring more people? Now, South America, Brazil, yeah, they kept bringing them over there, but not North America. They started slaving the people. And so that's all. It's no disrespect. Okay, it's no disrespect to her. That's all. I would love to talk to her. No disrespect. You didn't see the book? Which book? This one? Or this one? Or this one? Oh, Nick. Nick will know this answer. What's the best hot dogs in Detroit, Nick? What's the best hot dogs in Detroit, Nick? Okay, I hope I didn't do it too fast. See what you say. And you get your food, they gotta, you know, you get a turnstile, get your food on the turnstile. In Detroit, like you go into one of the Arab stores, they standing like on a big platform up here. So like your head is at the platform and they way up here. Because we used to get the St. Ives. We would buy the St. Ives in Detroit. We'd get a case and then we'd go to Battle Creek. We'd get some cases and we would buy them for like $1 and some. And this was like right when Boys in the Hoods. We would get these parties and we would sell them for $5. 40s. We would sell the 40s for $5. But I want to see what you say is the best hot dogs in Detroit. What's the best hot dogs? And they stay open almost 24 hours. But that used to trip me out. You standing there and they all up there, the cigarettes and all is up high and stuff. I'm like, okay. But we used to get those Van Nuys. We used to hustle the hell out of them. People would buy the shit out. We get these parties, little house parties, like had these properties and no furniture, nothing. It's just throw the music in the basement and we had the St. Ives and hustling. He said Lafayette, Coney Island. There you go. There you go. Yes, it's nothing. When you're in Detroit, you got to get a Coney Island hot dog. I knew he would say that. I knew he would say that. The guys in similar age in America. Oh yeah. Oh, yes. And Detroit was the Gators king. when Biggie said Pink Gators, my Detroit players, what is it, Mr. Adams? Is that the name of the shop? You could get before belts was famous, popular with people. You could get the Gator vest, and you could get the Gator belt to match, and you could get the Gator shoes. I think it was Mr. Adams. Wasn't that the name of the store? Mr. Adams. What was it? South. So if you take Plymouth, you take the Plymouth exit to go into Detroit, and it was that Southgate Mall, because you see the walkway over you go under, and then you come off. But Mr. Adams, but yeah, they had the Gator vest, the Gator belts, and this is, Gator belts ain't nothing new. That's a long time ago. You could get them, but you could get the shoes. That's what Detroit's known for. What did they call it? Now or later Gators. The now or later Gators. Doolies ain't bad either. Okay, but Mr. Adams. Okay, yeah. But you want some Gators. Detroit is the spot to get Gators. And Gators don't like the wintertime. People try to be clean. High grades on Michigan Avenue is better than I expected. Okay. But that goes back to the Temptations in Motown. Those cats was when they was on TV, you looked at, like, watch some old Temptation stuff, see how they dressed and look at the shoes. The Temptations was the one that was showing brothers around the country wearing Gators. That's something that directly kind of Detroit influenced the whole country. And I know a lot of cats now, because now you can get like Gator tennis shoes. What is it? Bell something, I think, where you can get the little alligator on top of the tennis shoe. I've got the ad on Facebook somewhere, but yeah. You can get some slick Gators in Detroit. Oh yeah, slick Gators in Detroit. That's what Detroit's known for. It's worth the trip. If you're in Michigan, it's worth the trip if you like dressing like that. And again, now you can get more athletic looking Gators. I think my last pair was a more athletic pair. Belvedere, I think they're called. And they have the alligator on the tongue in the shoe. And it's more of a casual shoe than straight up dress shoe. But you can get jackets. You can get a Gator jacket. It just depends on how you like to dress. Just depends on how funky you like to get. But yeah, tomorrow. We were supposed to go over tomorrow's games. I think we did a little bit, but we got the heads up coming again. So just to get it out the way. So again, I'm pretty sure everybody's going to take the points. Everybody's going to give Creighton 13. I think it's going to be under, though. It's a hard call. I'm going to say it's a hard call because all the games today was under. A lot of times they'll do the opposite the next day. So that's a kind of interesting call to make. So right now, I don't see Creighton being able to score, but Villanova can score. Gonzaga can score, excuse me. But just the gambler in me, I say probably under 158. That seems a lot, Creighton, for the Creighton plan. What we got? Francis' birthday is 9/5 from his birthday to today. 2-8 Productions, thank you for joining. Champion was a span of 2 or 4 days, and he dropped Strip I Move record with that loss. Wow. I don't know why it changed move, but oh well. iMovie. Okay. So I'm going with Gonzaga, give up 13. I'm gonna say under. I'm gonna say under. Now looking at this game, Oregon and USC, I wasn't impressed with either of these teams. At a 2 points, that's kind of a push almost. I say under again. They're giving up 2. Why not take it? I don't know about this one. I got a funny feeling about this one. Neither team was that good. Now UCLA, Alabama. I was impressed with Alabama. I think they're gonna beat them more than 7. I think they'll hold UCLA. I think they'll hold them. I'm seeing under again. It looks like they're gonna do under. And of course, I'm taking Michigan over Florida. That's kind of my emotional pick. And then here 2.5, and I think that's what my bet went in. And I'm taking under on that. Now this game might be the one that I could see as over. I could see this one being over. So that's what we're doing. And Minks, don't even talk about Minks. Like I was saying before, You get a mink coat, where you get it from, if they can't hold it for you during the wintertime, you can't rent it, put in their lockers, I would look at getting it from a different place. Because don't get a mink coat and put it in your closet. Because it will, when you bring it back out the next winter, it'll be done fail. That mink will fall. That's why I do like the Fabulous Furs, because you don't have to do that. But the other coats, they go right. You gotta rent space. Can't be cheap. And don't put it in your garage thinking your garage is cool. You take that mink out and that fur will fall. You done put, a couple grand, couple racks into a coat. you gotta rent a space where that's the good thing about buying it from a furrier, so they can put it up. You go to just a store to just sell them and then you can't store them. That's even if you get it like that, find a furrier where you can keep the coat, or see if you'll dry clean, because some dry cleaners offer that space. But don't get one of them coats. Now, Nick was talking about Max Julians. That ain't really gonna fall off on you. You ain't got to really, with the Max Julians, that ain't gonna really fall off on you. So, but I'm talking about all of it. You got a full coat, you got to put it in cold. You got to put it somewhere cold. Yeah, Jason, you got to put it, or it'll fall. And you don't want to put all that money. And even if you and your lady got matching coats, like the what was his Frank in New York, at the Ali Frazier fight. If any time I could go back to history, I would like to go to the Ali Frazier fight just to dress, because you got all the Detroit players who was dressed up. You had Frank Lucas dressed. I mean, everybody was just. It was a night where brothers just gave it their best, and I don't think America was ready for it. Everybody's looking like a player, and that's like they were saying, out of the 19th century. Or the 1900s, that was the biggest event in the 1900s, bigger than the moon landings. It was so big that the Irish Republic Army and the English Army took a truce for the night of the fight. And I think over there they watched it in black and white, because some theaters where you rented it, because that's pay-per-view. You used to have to go to the theater to watch the fight, pay-per-view. My funniest pay-per-view story is Tyson Spinks. So I told my friends, I was like, I'm getting there early. You know how Tyson fight? Yeah. So I'm sitting there. I got a beer. I got buzzed before I went in. My friends are walking in with their food. Fight's over. He knocked him out right when they was walking and sat down. And that pay-per-view wasn't expensive. I mean, it wasn't like we paid cheap, like $5-10 like a movie, some shit. We paid some 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, somewhere in there. And I sat there and saw it all, but my friends was like walking into their seats and he knocked him out. Like, yeah, that's what y'all get. I told y'all to come early. Julians and nanny goats, you should be fine, but a full mink, yeah, oh yeah, yep. But the Max Julians, I don't think people understand. Oh, and the Cartier glasses, that's always been a Michigan thing. Cartier glasses, that's always been a Michigan thing. The Cartiers with the diamonds. You put the diamonds like right here, or you get the diamonds here, and then you get the diamonds coming down there. I mean, that's, and I even say Nick's generation too knows the dressing. I mean, the good thing and the bad thing about New Wave was New Wave, like all the style you see today with the ripped jeans and the ripped clothes, that was New Wave. People was doing that in '79. That was New Wave. Went from disco to New Wave and then the cowboy, like in one summer. Disco, you dressed up, but that style of dressing up, it's like certain generations, like y'all say, the ones that's between 25 and 35, you ain't really taught, unless you have a job where you have to dress up. It ain't really a thing anymore where you dress up. But if you look at pictures of old people, like these old people may lived in the shackiest shacks in the South, but if you looked at, like, if they went to church, they had nice pressed clothes, nice clean clothes, collars stiff. Now, I've never really liked, since I didn't have to wear suits, after I quit playing football and didn't have to wear suits as much, that really never been my thing. Like I don't even buy polo shirts because I probably got 10 in my closet that I just don't wear them. I just don't really like collar shirts. And that's why I look at them and I'm like, why buy it? Because I know I ain't going to ever wear it, so. But the dressing up, that's, now we're taught to dress down. That's the thing. It's like you go out and That's what I didn't like about sagging. That was the ultimate way to dress down. Now, I like the way my son and his friends did it. They wore shorts. So if they did sag, they had shorts on top. So you never saw draws. But I mean, that goes back to secondhand clothes, hand-me-downs. That's a hand-me-down kind of thing. But, brothers ain't really taught. And I'll say this, like I've always wore sporting clothes, warm-up suits. I've wore that since, college. Like it's times where we was given full warm-up suits, but that's what I like about Champion clothes, because I was wearing Champion clothes when I was young. It was one of the few places that sold warm-up suits and stuff. So, yeah, that bling mink. Oh, chinchilla. It's nothing like a chinchilla coat, guys. Chinchilla. Sugar Sean O'Malley is UFC fighter, but there's a famous Catholic priest who has the same name. Oh wow. Yeah, that bling mink look nice, but chinchilla. Oh my goodness, that stuff. You lay a girl on chinchilla, see how she go crazy. What do you think about Oscar De La Hoya? It's sad. It mean he broke. I mean, you tell me why he still got to fight at his age, unless he knows something and he ain't gonna take no hits. But at his age, taking them hits to the head. That's why I look at like Holyfield already got the speech pattern. He already got the speech pattern where you could tell he's missing. Roy Jones, look at Roy Jones Jr. head. What happened to his head? How did this head get so out of shape? He's got like a little point on his head now. He's going to suffer, but he must be broke. Why does he keep doing it? I mean, it's like, give you a prime example. If y'all heard of the original Sugar Ray Robinson, he fought almost 200 fights. He was fine on Monday. Tuesday, he couldn't remember shit. I mean, it was really that quick. It was like one day he was fine. That dementia shit hit the very next day, the rest of his life. Trying to think of it's another fighter from that age. I can picture his face, but he got multiple sclerosis. He was wheelchair bound by the time he was Joe Louis. Look at the beating Joe Louis. Joe Louis was wheelchair. Joe Louis only lived to be about in his 60s. When he got knocked out by Rocky Marciano, he was an old dude. Ali fighting Larry Holmes. Ali, they didn't want to call it punch drunk, but it was. That's what they used to call punch drunk. What happened to Ali? And Ali had no business. I mean, again, they took 4 years away from him. I know people say 3.5. No, if you looked at from when he fought Foley to when he fought Jerry he fought one of the brothers. I can't picture his name. The first fight back, we fought him in Georgia. That was a heck of a night too. When he fought that cat, it'll come to me. But he fought one of the two brothers, his first fight. And so when he fought Frazier, he wasn't fighting in fighting shape. He didn't have a fighting trim body. Joe did. And Gematria Championship, sums to 131. Okay. Equals Super Bowls. In 25, I wear suits when I go out. Everybody else wearing ripped denim jeans. Yeah, and Jeezys. There you go. And that that's kind of I still have coats. I still have blazers. I still have coats and stuff. And I have ties and I've got dress shirts. And I've even got cufflink shirts, the French collars and the cufflinks. A lot of people don't even, that's how I used to do it. I used to have the cufflinks, put the diamonds in the cufflinks. So, yeah, I feel you. And I'm 25, you wear suits when I go out. Yeah, everybody else. Yeah, right. And that's 60 hippies clothes. I mean, when people would get bell bottoms, the chicks used to love their bell bottoms, the drug. I mean, their bell bottoms would drag, and they liked when they tore up. That was a style where they would drag the bell bottoms or the bell bottoms for the better word of it, but they would drag, or elephant legs. That's my other word. Navy pants. That's what they was. Really, bell bottoms come from the Navy. The Navy invented bell bottoms, so if the ship sunk, you had a pair of pants with the bell that kind of helped you float, unless a shark was about to get your ass. Then you didn't have anything. But yeah, YT, I get that. I get that too. If it's like we gotta go, it's a funeral or something, yeah, I can dress. Ripped jeans and Yeezys ain't it for everyone. I just Them shoes is like house slippers to me. People still getting the buff snatch. There you go. Priest name was St. Patrick O'Malley, sums to 260 as well. And UFC was live tonight. Yes, I saw all the fights tonight. I didn't bet on none of that. I don't follow it enough. I know people who are raised in an urban environment dressed like that. There you go. I love tennis shoes, and it's to the point where I'll be honest, my dress shoes, I have to get the more comfortable ones. That's what I was saying. The one alligators now you can get are more of a crossover shoe than just a straight gator dress up shoe, because I have trouble wearing them, because after a while my dogs are screaming. My plantar fasciitis feel like a knife is in your foot. So I have to be careful what I wear. And that's why I always get shoes. Like every 5 or 6 months, I always get shoes. I get insoles, and them insoles is like six, 7. It's going to be interesting to see the price on these that I'll get Wednesday. They're 500-600, so I got to get them every 6 months. And that's why I tend to get some 14s. It's just more comfortable. Like what I found out, I got a pair of all-weather Timbs that was like more suede or nubuck, really comfortable to walk in. I always wondered when Ali ran in boots, because that would kill me if I had to run in boots. Now the Army, I've heard in some ways you don't have to run. It's a more comfortable. But if you look at a lot of old fighters, they ran in Army boots. That stuff is good there. I put it on potatoes.
Yeah.
It was real good on potatoes. Me and Natalie had potatoes earlier.
This is chip dip.
Yeah. Well, one of it is that's a
Hot potato, yeah.
tater stuff. Yeah.
Most people use chip dip.
So, but I can dress for the occasion. I still got Godfather hats. I don't think that'll ever go out with me, is wearing Godfather hats. Fedoras, Godfather hats, derbies, bowler hats. I mean, I don't think I'll ever get out of that. Wearing long winter coats, cashmeres. What's that?
Cookies.
Oh, I don't care. You can have it. Natalie liked them other ones. So I don't think I'll ever get away from that. Cashmere coats. I mean, a lot of people, mink coats, but cashmere. Have a nice knee-length cashmere coat. That's some real game. Yeah. I'm knocking tennis shoes, like you said. You wear them like slippers. I'm not knocking tennis shoes, you said. Yeah, but them Yeezys look like slippers. That's what I don't like about them.
Which Yeezys?
Any of them. They're ugly shoes.
Yeezy 350s aren't.
Yes, they are. All them shoes are
You haven't even
ugly.
seen them.
I have seen them.
All of them except for the Yeezy 350s.
Okay, well, the ones I've seen are ugly shoes.
Oh, you talking about the new ones?
Yeah,
Ugly ass moon boots?
there you go.
Bitches are bogus as hell.
And how much are they?
I don't know, bro. It looks like a bar of soap.
Now somebody was saying that the new Nas X shoes with the blood in them is a rack. You heard that?
Nas?
Nas X, little Nas X. They supposed to have blood in them.
I don't know about that gay ass.
The 666. They got the pentagram on them. You ain't seen them? You seen this video?
Which one?
This new one. The devil shit. You ain't seen that shit?
The one, no.
Look
You see
that
that
shit.
video I sent you? Where the dude was breaking down his
Mhm.
music video?
Yeah.
Yeah, where it was like basically showing.
But look at that shit. That's some crazy shit. That's some crazy shit. That is some crazy shit. Oh. Yeah, we put on dress clothes in urban. Yeah, we do.
What's that song called?
Bard, so
Yeah.
what?
What's that song called about? It was like a black dude. It was like one of the first people to sell their souls for music.
Oh,
He had a song about it.
Johnson.
I don't know.
Yeah, Johnson at the Crossroads. He made a song called The Crossroads.
Crossroads, yeah.
Slide was down there. I've been down in those areas too. Because they were saying if you study him, it's interesting. If you study him, they were saying that he really was just an average cat. And then one time he came back and he had that sauce. But like the guy that went to the guy that went to the guy that went to Jimi Hendrix is like he's in that line. Robert Johnson, that was his name, Robert Johnson.
Wow.
And he was sacrificed. Somebody poisoned him. But that was what they were saying about Robert Johnson. Like he could bring the evil out of the guitar. But But that's, bending the notes and stuff. And Jimi Hendrix was all them put together. And it's funny, Jimi Hendrix 50 years ago. Robert Johnson. Yeah, Robert Johnson. To Ace of Bobby Killer. That's Killer Bobby Johnson. That's Killer Bobby Johnson. Remember that movie? That's Killer Bobby Johnson. Yeah. At the Crossroads. Yep, the Crossroads. Yep. Said he sold his soul. But he was one of the, I think, the first of the 27 Club. But it's interesting if you looked at how like they played music back then. Like a lot of these little clubs is little like shacks. And like we was talking about people dressing up and stuff. When people that lived on the plantations where he would go play, people dressed up. Like you don't see a picture of him where he ain't wearing a suit. Then this is the thing, like watch an old Three Stooges cartoon. They wearing jackets most of the time. Now you see the Three Stooges do some work where they become plumbers or something. They put on bibs. But people used to wear suit coats all the time. And it's Mason, but I'm just saying, men have always wore suits. And back then, you went to work wearing a suit no matter what kind of work you did. And if you got grubby, you put on bibs to over your suit. And that didn't really stop, again, until the end of the disco era. When disco died, New Wave came in, and New Wave, people started dressing down. Again, the cowboy phase, I know it was in Detroit. Again, I was dressing like that in North Carolina, but it didn't stay very long where people dress. And this is the thing that killed the Cowboys. George Clinton put that song out, Never Buy. How did it go? Never buy Texas from a cowboy. That kind of killed the cowboy thing. That kind of killed it. I think that's how the song goes. Never buy, or that was a line in the song, never buy Texas from a cowboy. Everybody quit wearing that shit when he put that out. Hey, Strong Discernment. They had a document. Yeah. Crossroads means like a fork in the road, And that's I'll tell you this too. You, like when I teach people, like going down the halls and stuff, you can have hallways like that where you see that hallway and what the split is and you undecided. And you know how you beat it. Like spiritually, there's a way to beat it, but you could come to that, like say you just astro ethers. And this is how the common person would go down one or the other. But the thing is to split in two and go down both of them. That may be, some people may not tell you, but that's what you do. Because when you're in the ethers, you're in your light body. So you split in two and go on both sides and then meet yourself when they come back together. And then so you can have both experiences. A lot of people won't give that out, but that's what you do. That's how you face that, is you split in two. Now I'm saying in the ethers, the physical road, of course, you can't do that. But if you ever see that when you are, you're in your mind and you're meditating and you see that, split in two. Don't sit there and try to think, well, do I go halfway and then come back? And no, just split in two and go down both of them. People won't give that out. Never buy Texas from Cowboy by the Brides of Funkenstein. Okay, Nick. Okay, yeah. You still have that album. Oh, I watched them drop I heard somebody talking about when George Clinton dropped the Mothership. When I was in Saginaw, I saw, that must have been Saginaw 78 maybe. He dropped the Mothership in Saginaw and the place went crazy. Now I saw him again in Wing Stadium in Kalamazoo. He didn't drop it. He came out with a limousine, but when he dropped that Mothership in Saginaw, oh my goodness. And when he did Flashlight, and Bernie Worrell, I tell people to listen to Flashlight because Bernie Worrell plays almost everything. And everything. Look up Bernie Worrell. He is bad. And Bernie Worrell is like, when you look at, let me add this too. Let me say, but Bernie Worrell is the first person. Flashlight is the first song that didn't use a live bass. That he didn't use a live bass, where they used the keyboard for the bass. Doom 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 doom. Bernie Worrell. You listen to, and then like if you get the extended disco edition of that, where you hear everybody playing and he's playing on top of each other, but then he puts piano and he is just chopping on this piano. You hearing all the keyboard and he's playing everything else, and then on top of he's just playing the keyboard, the piano at the end. He throws that. Brilliant. Now a lot of people, they was talking about the piece you put in your mouth, and like Roger Troutman was doing. But the first person I heard do that was Herbie Hancock. Herbie Hancock made an album that must have came out in 77. And he was the first that I heard singing with that thing in his mouth, with the synthesizer through his mouth, was that. Bernie Worrell played on a Hammond. Yeah, but you hear him, he's at the very end of the disco version, or the extended version. He starts hitting the regular piano, but he throws it on top. But yeah, Worrell, he probably doesn't get his props, for being one of the best all-around musicians. I mean, Flashlight, Aqua Boogie is his greatest song. That music, I still love that music. Chocolate City, you got Chocolate City, Nick. You got the first one, Chocolate City. Foamposite and LeBron's is the most comfortable shoes. I like LeBron's, and I get a lot of LeBron's too. Robert Johnson got that song, Last Fair Deal Go Down. Last Fair Deal Go Down. I like them too. Atomic Dog. Oh yeah. They said Peter Frampton too. I saw Peter Frampton live in Greensboro. Oh shit. I saw Frampton. Oh yeah. Frampton was that man. Oh yeah. I saw Frampton live. I forget about him because I love the Scorpions. I saw the Scorpions out in California, but I saw Frampton in Greensboro. Yeah, Frampton was that guy too. Speaking of Chocolate City, are they gentrifying the fuck out of DC? They're trying to. Herbie Hancock and Peter Frampton was the first I know to do that voice recorder thing. Yeah, I have every Parliament Funkadelic. Okay, yeah. Are you up on the downstroke CC? They're trying to make DC, but this is the thing, to answer the question fully. Like we were saying, the way to dress and stuff, they don't want men to look like men. That was part of the sagging thing. And again, they'll tell you that the sagging thing came from jails. Part of it came from jail. Part of it came like when you had hand-me-downs, what you saw as the dudes would really tighten up the belt, and then they would kind of loop the belt over. That was a style, if y'all can remember that style, y'all old enough. So you had a dude that really had to loop up them pants, but because he had to get the bigger belt, and then he kind of looped the belt back over his pants, if y'all remember that style. Instead of just sagging, he would really have a belt tight, but it'd be a lot of belt left. So that was a kind of style where, I don't know, you would have to see this. I don't know. You saying Nick? Okay, Nick. But yeah, Frampton, yeah, using the mouthpiece. Okay, but I saw Frampton live. I saw him live in Greensboro, and I want to say I was a freshman, so that might have been 79 fall. And I'll say this: the best music period to me was 79, because the summer of 79, again, you go from disco to new wave. This summer of 79, you go from disco to new wave. Here in my car, I am safe as can be. I can lock all my doors. That's the only way to live in cars. I mean, new wave. You had the glasses that blink. You had the little thing you could make your glasses blink. Okay, I go to college, you hear King Tim III by the Fatback Band, the first rap song released, hip hop, King Tim III. And then after King Tim III, you hear One Nation. No, was it One Nation? No, it wasn't One Nation. One Nation came out when I was in high school. I'm drawing a blank. It wasn't One Nation. It was the song after One Nation. But that dropped. It'll come to me in a minute, because it's before Atomic Dawn. It'll come to me in a minute. And then you had them boys from DC dropping Go-Go. When they dropped the bomb and they came to Greensboro and dropped the bomb. No, it wasn't One Nation. That was 78. One Nation Under Groove was 78. What was the song in 79? Because it has the long extended play where it's not burning. It's not Not the original. Michael Hampton, where Kid Michael Hampton plays on the extended version. Kid Funkadelic. That's what they call Michael Hampton. But it wasn't One Nation. One Nation? No, it wasn't One Nation. It'll come to me in a minute. McDaniel, I was mixtape DJ before mixtape DJs. Oh, yeah. We used to get them all the time. Everyone thinks the high school young adult music is the best. That's what you listen to. My family owns Smash Rock Records in Detroit in the corner of Finkel. Where was Donnie Simpson's record store, Nick? Where was Donnie Simpson's store? Because Donnie Simpson owned a record store, I remember, in Detroit. Where was Donnie Simpson's store? Where was his store? Oh, what was the song? No, I can't remember. But then Curtis Blow came out, Christmas album. Curtis Blow. So it was just 79. You look up it was just like, and Good Times. Good Times came out that summer. Good Times, because Good Times made people forget New Wave. When they released Good Times and then Sugar Hill came right after the Fatback Man. King Tim III came Sugar Hill. And, Sylvia Robertson, what your friends all say is fine. It can't compete with this pillow talk of mine. Sylvia Robertson, that was her hit. Or Sure Enough Boogie. And she did Ray Goodman and Brown, but they was called something else before Ray Goodman and Brown. Because they sung, "Come on, sexy mama, you are right where I want you to be." I can't think of the name of the group. Maybe it was owned by Legacy Records was owned by Donnie Simpson. Okay. Yeah. The same time Jerk Out came on after I watched the rest of your video last night. Would you say Morris Day was rapping on that song? But no, the one that put them over was Give It Up, Going for a Real Good Time. That was their first hit. Give It Up was before Jerk Out was Give It Up. Give it up. And they said Prince played everything on Give It Up. They just sang. But give it up, I want you all night. That was their first hit, was Give It Up. At least that was the first hit that they was playing down south. Before Jerk Out was Give It Up. The MySpace era was the best, but I was overseas at the time. Sugar Ray had those songs you hear in the grocery store. Someday flying when it's over. Oh, why can't I remember the Funkadelic song? Because every day at A&T, when the A&T station went off, and it wasn't One Nation Under a Groove, or was it? I want to say One Nation Under a Groove came out in 78 when I was still in high school. Freak of the Week. That's it. Freak of the Week. Extended version. Yeah, she's a big old freak. And you hear Michael, when you hear the extended version, Kid Funkadelic, oh, he kills it. The extended version of Freak of the Week. Yeah. Oh, I didn't even mention Rick James. I saw Rick James the first time I saw Prince. I saw Rick James. Everybody was seeing Rick James, and Prince opened up for Rick James. I saw them in Greensboro too. That was the first time I saw Prince, was with Rick James in Greensboro. Because I think Jill Jones was up in there. Because Jill Jones is also in the 1999 video too. But Jill Jones was there as well. But I saw Prince, but Rick James, Mary Jane, Good Times though. I remember I played the Meadowlands, and I'm sitting in the Meadowlands, and John Jefferson had the locker I had the week before, because the visitors got the tape name. And so Rick James had that song, "I'm gonna have the best time, do. I'm in the big time." And here I am, John Jefferson's locker the week before, and I'm in the damn Meadowlands. And that Rick James song, Big Time, was out. Yeah. Knee Deep. Yeah, not just knee deep. There you go, Nick. Yep, not just knee deep. Yeah. Frankie Beverly and Mays in the 80s. Oh, yeah. Funkadelic Nick came out in 79. I was 8th grade. Yeah, but it came out, I was a freshman. When it came out. Because, I was a freshman when it came out. But that era of music was hard to beat. It was hit after hit. Again, Good Times. Well, again, New Wave. I mean, people forget New Wave. People in Detroit was New Waving in the summer of 79. When New Wave hit Greensboro? 2 years later, like in every 81. But we was doing that because my cousin was DJing in Detroit. We was going to New Wave parties, and it was like almost overnight. You dressed down. So that was a fun time. Before I go, we are on the classics. Oh yeah, my cousin was DJing all over Detroit, so we was going to, I was a senior, so but it was like one night we went to disco, and then he was like telling me, he was telling me, wear some raggedy clothes, tear up a t-shirt. And I'm like, tear up a t-shirt? And we go in the club. He's like, this is how everybody dressed. And I'm like, you kidding me? He's like, just dress like that and see. And then he gave me some of them glasses where you could be dancing and shit, and the glasses would blink. You'd be dancing and shit. You got them blink glasses. You had a little thing to make them blink, and you'd be dancing and making your glasses blink. That was New Wave. But then Good Times just killed it. Good Times made people forget about New Wave. But it exposed everybody to, the Police. What was the other one? Whip It. That song. Whip It was about 15 to 18 minutes long. It exposed me to all that kind of music too. So, and then again, Whip It came out in 79. The Police came out. B-52's Rock Lobster came out. So it was a heck of a time of music. And I think people forget Drop the Bomb on the East Coast. Y'all just don't understand. Drop the Bomb on the East Coast? Trouble Funk? Yeah. And we used to it's funny, people that's not exposed to go-go like Chuck Brown, Rare Essence. A lot of people know the people doing the butt. That's a lot of what people was exposed to. But it was a bunch of DC. You go to DC and you hear them hit them drums. It's the sound of DC that when you hear them hitting them, because DC is more the percussion drums and that the drum sounds. And it's like, when you're in church and the people hit the Holy Spirit, it's like when you hear them drums, and people in the East Coast, DC, hear them drums of that, it just hit you inside. And so when it Dropped the Bomb came out, oh my goodness, that was, and I know that was a monster hit on the East Coast. My father had some Frankie Beverly Mays on laser disc, but he got rid of the laser disc. We had at least 100. New Wave in Detroit early. You're right. Oh yeah, it was summer '79. We was hearing all that. B-52s, Police. Yeah, all that. My cousin had all the records, and so we was going to the parties, going to the clubs. And again, it was just a contradiction from dressing up. It was a contradiction. Cameo. Oh yes, Cameo too. Cameo. I just want to be. Oh, I met Cameo. We played in the Gold Bowl in Richmond, and they played in Richmond. We was at the Gold Bowl. We stayed in the same hotel. So what's his name? Larry. I met all them cats. I got to meet all them cats. Yeah, they stayed in the same hotel we stayed in when we played in the Gold Bowl. And we was playing at the University of Richmond. Remember I was telling you we was playing on a backyard artificial turf at the University of Richmond? Yeah, that's what we played on. But the hotels both teams stayed in. We both stayed in the same hotel. They was cheap. And we stayed in and I got to meet them cats from Cameo. And I saw them perform, not then, but I saw them perform too. Yep. Oh, Anita Baker. Yeah, Anita Baker. Sean Gatling that ended up going to Southern. Sean's father. What group was Anita? Anita was in another group. She was in a group before. And Sean Gatling, her dad, and he's passed now. Her dad was her manager. So that's how I know, because Sean's related to the Letts. And yeah, Sean's dad. That's how I knew her through Sean. I got to meet her through Sean. She's a little bitty lady. Yep. I remember I'll tell you about Anita Baker, though. I'll tell you this. If you went in Anita Baker's show late, she would cuss you out. Don't go in her show late. You couldn't go in Anita Baker's show. She would talk shit to you. She was starting to perform, and imagine some of it was just in clubs. She would cuss you out. She was like, she stopped singing like Anita Baker. I saw Valerie. I saw Earth, Wind, and Fire. Yeah, Larry Blackman. Yeah. I got to meet the first cameo song I remember is Alligator Woman, Tiger Dan. Yeah, I Just Want to Be came out the summer of '79. I remember my girl was staying in Saginaw, and I Just Want to Be. That was the first one I heard of them. I saw Earth, Wind, and Fire when I was in 7th grade at the Black Detroit Expo. Again, I told the story before. My uncle's best friend was Jesse Jackson. Big Tiny was Jesse Jackson's bodyguard. Tiny wasn't no big cat. Tiny was 5'8", about 360. But yeah, nobody messed with Tiny. He was the dude who used to drive the big Fleetwood with the steering wheel in his belly. He wouldn't drive with his hands. He used to scare the shit out of us. He turned like this, turned like that. He drove with this guy drove this big Fleetwood, like a 74, 73 Fleetwood with the jump seats in the back. He drove it in his belly. But I saw them first, Isaac Hayes, Tavares, Earth. I've seen that Earth, Wind, and Fire about 4 or 5 times. Well, I saw them in Greensboro, and I tell you what, they did a trick in Greensboro because everybody was trying to do magic. They got in these damn spears, and they went up, and you was looking and shit, and they was in the damn spears. You looking and like they wasn't that far, it wasn't like I had good seats, so they wasn't that far from me, but they went all the way up to the rafters, and then boom, these motherfuckers on stage, and I'm looking up there like, who the hell is in there? Oh yeah, but yeah, reasons. Lovers Holiday, yeah. I've said this before. Shining Star, I'm surprised they didn't get sued by Coltrane because it's a song called Mary. This Coltrane is Shining Star. Dun, 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 you're a shining star. Dun, 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 no matter who you are. Dun, 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 that's Coltrane. That's a song for Mary. And I don't know if they got permission, but it's Coltrane. Shining Star is Coltrane. Listen to a song for Mary and then listen to Shining Star. Dun, 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 dun. It's the same song. I was hoping Anita Baker comes out of retirement. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna tell you the best song I heard a woman sing live is Anita Baker singing Angel Live. Angel Live. One of her first hit is Angel. And that's one of my but to hear Anita Baker, I'm gonna give it out. My Kundalini is going, but to hear Anita Baker sing Angel Live, only you can make it real. Only you can make it right. You're my angel. And that's a female pimping words. Only you can make it real. Only you can make it right. You are my angel. But I like Sarah Vaughan, and she had that kind of raspy voice. I like Diana Washington too. And I guess Anita Baker was kind of like that. My mother didn't like Anita Baker, which she didn't like Sarah Vaughan either, though. I like Diana Washington. I like Sarah Vaughan. So Anita Baker was that, I thought, very similar, the raspy, but Angel, hearing her live, let me think of all the female singers. Let me think who else. I don't know. I had to really think about who I saw live, females, that beat Anita Baker. I can't really think of any. I had to really think about it. While I sit here, I'm gonna think about that. Even tomorrow, I'll think about if I heard another female singer live that was better. I saw Chaka Khan live, and this dude, the bass player, got too close to her, and it whipped her wig off, and she ran off stage, and she didn't come back. Oh, Nick, I saw Sly Stone. I saw Sly Stone in Greensboro with the funk group. And George Clinton didn't perform because I got to meet him. I was just walking around because I was high just walking around that motherfucker. And I got to meet him and shit. But his son performed. But Sly Stone, I had a shirt that had all their names on it. And they was going, stand. He came on stage. Sly Stone sat down and played the piano. That motherfucker got up. He ain't even do shit. And so they went on. They brought Roger Troutman through the crowd with his jock strap on and shit. But yeah, I got to see Sly Stone. He performed for about 2 minutes, but my shirt had his name on it, but I got to see Sly Stone. And Roger, when he was young, they brought Roger through the crowd. He slayed it. But yeah, I saw Chaka Khan put her wig off. That shit was funny. And she didn't come back. They left, they went, but it's like the bass player, she used to wear that really huge wig. Like the wig was like about this. And the bass player got too close to her, and he backed up, and it caught the wig and whipped it right off of her. And the next group came, like they had a break, and then she didn't come back on. Rufus did not come back on. That shit was funny. That was wow. Rufus, Tell Me Something Good. That might have been 77, maybe the summer of 78. I have to see when Tell Me Something Good came out. Because I remember Don Kirshner's rock concert, whatever came on at midnight. My cousin was on it, Michael Narda Walden, and then Shaka Khan performed before him. And he had a song called I Don't Want Anybody Else to Dance With You. Because he was like, they told him they was going to let him go if he didn't have a hit. So he wrote that hit. And then his thing was producing. He produced, he won a Grammy for Pink Cadillac. He won 2 Grammys with Aretha. Pink Cadillac was one. He's in, like, if you look at Pink Cadillac, he's playing the drums. That's my cousin. Clarence Clemens, I think, is in that one too. But my cousin, Michael Narda Walden. Big ass Angela Bofield. Yeah, he produced Angela Bofield, I want to say too. Narda produced her too. Oh, Nick, the baddest dude I ever saw, though, and you probably heard me say this before, the baddest dude I ever saw, like keyboardist, was the dude from The Systems. I think he the same dude from New Shoes, but that dude from The System, he was in Greensboro, and I talked about this, taking that snowflake acid, and this dude, they just got 2 lead guitars. The singer had a guitar and another dude, and it was just him. No drums, no bass. And that dude is, remember that song, Day by Day and Night by Night, because you're in my system. Oh, remember that song? That dude was on that computer and he had a Hammond. He was just kicking ass. And my best friend and I we on this snowflake acid. Our minds are just blown. And I'm like, John, where are the drums? Where are the bass? We hearing all this stuff come out the speakers. And we're looking, and it's like 2 guitars, and him. That's it. And the lead singer is playing the guitar. And there's another dude playing the guitar. That was it. The System. And this guy is playing the bass. He's playing the drums on that machine. He was killing it. He was killing it. And on that same concert, I met a Grandmaster Flash. Grandmaster Flash wasn't shit compared to that dude for The System. And I think he's the same dude from New Shoes. I love mixing and I love Grandmaster Flash and High on Acid, but he wasn't fucking with that dude from The System. That dude from The System, whoo, you talking about seeing somebody live and killing it? Oh, Pointer Sisters, Emotions, Martha Reeves and the Vandellas. I told my Martha Reeves, the Marvelettes, yeah. My mother used to be the role manager for the Marvelettes. But Martha and Vandellas, Betty Kelly. Betty played with Dancing in the Streets, Heat Wave. Because Betty left the Marvelettes and Betty joined Martha Reeves, and Betty is a Vandella. If you look at the Vandellas, it's a dark, really dark sister. That's Betty Kelly. She used to come over all the time. She was like, Toby, let me see you twist. But she would come over all the time. That was my mom's girl. Yep. His name is David Frank. Yeah, David Frank. Isn't he in New Shoes too, Nick? Wasn't that him with New Shoes? I think that's him in New Shoes, but yeah, David Frank is a motherfucker. And I'm telling you, it was comparing him to Grandmaster Flash, no comparison. And Grandmaster Flash was, mixing stuff, but not like David Frank. David Frank blew my mind. He blew my mind. When my mind was already blown, he blew my mind because we were sitting there confused. It's like, I'm just hitting John, and John's like, quit hitting me. But to hear dude do the drum, boom, boom, you hear, and I don't mean just boom, boom. No, I'm talking about a dude that is working out on the drums. I'm talking about you hearing full boom, boom, the kick. He was doing all that and keeping with the bass at the same time. That dude is bad. And I think he's the dude. Ain't he the dude with New Shoes too, Nick? I think that song, I Can't Wait. Remember that? I Can't, baby. I think that's him too. Oh. But yeah, David Frank is a bad man. That had to have been the summer of 81, maybe 80, 81. Because my ex-wife was there, so it had to have been the fall of 81. Yep. David Frank. Yeah, David Frank is bad. But yeah, Martha and the Vandellas, I met all them. You remember New Shoes? I don't know if that was David was in. See, I thought that was him. I always thought that was him. Because when I saw the video, I thought that was him in the video. Because I thought that was his wife that sang it, but I could be wrong. But I thought New Shoes was him. I thought so. I had to look that up. But yeah, he's that cat. But I mean the Scorpions. I saw the Scorpions in California. I'm telling you, these dudes. One was laid on the ground playing his ass off. The other dude jumped on him playing his ass off. The other dude jumped on both of them, all while playing. Oh yeah, Rock You Like a Hurricane. One of my favorite rock groups. And I saw Prince. I saw Prince, a few times. I saw Prince when he backed up Rick James, and then I saw him right after Purple Rain. I saw 2 shows, so I got to see him. I've been to his place here. It's all right. But I saw him here. I was telling my friend he was selling cologne here, and so he was selling cologne at Macy's. He gave a free concert. But then I saw him in this small place called the Dakota, and the place is really smooth. It's like mostly just older people. You can go in there and eat, and everybody dress up. And he did 3 shows. One of my girls had tickets for one of the 3 shows, and that was like 14. No, I wasn't with my daughter's mother. That must have been damn, that might have been 9. Wow, I didn't think it was back then. Yeah, that might have been like 9. Yeah, like 9, 10, maybe. Because I don't think I was with my daughter's mother by then. So maybe that was 9 or 10 when I saw him do it the Dakota. Because people come here like they want nice music. Dakota is a smooth place for older people to go. John Smith. Okay, I'm wrong. Thank you. But it's like he did that style. I want to write his name down. David Frank. Okay. So that but I thought it was him because it was that style. Thank you, David Frank. Let me write his name down because that dude was blowing my mind. That was a hell of a. I mean, again, I watch Prince, but watching that cat, woo, and watching Grandmaster Flash. Oh, I know another singer, Florence Hyman. Yeah, I loved her. I got to meet her. I loved her. Florence Hyman, right? Hyman, yeah. She was about my height, about 5'11" and a half. Maybe I was that much. Pretty woman, talk shit. I walk into where all of them are getting ready, and she's like, "Oh, you the dude with the Sesame." And she took some of my beers. I walked in there with some beer, and I had the Bud, and she took one of my Heinekens, and so I gave her some Bud. She took one of my beers. She didn't ask for it. She just took one of my beers. She's like, "Give me one of the motherfuckers." And I'm like, okay. She paid me for the weed and smoked with her. Then I went back and sat down, and she was drinking my Heineken when she comes out. And somebody in the crowd says, "What you drinking?" She's like, "A Heineken, motherfucker." She was live, but you talking about stunningly beautiful, my type. Yeah, Florence Hyman. Yeah, that chick, man. Maybe she wasn't that tall, but it seemed like it. If I'm remembering, she was fairly tall. Maybe not that tall. Maybe slightly shorter than me, but cool. Really, oh man, like the men all pause pretty. I forgot about her. Now she had a different style. I still say Anita had her, but I saw her too, Florence Hyman. I was, you talking about love at first sight. And I like light-skinned chicks too. Oh my goodness, meeting her and smoking weed with her, and she talking shit. She's a raunchy, talking shit, speaking her mind kind of chick. Yeah. Because I remember I ran into her out in LA too. Because I was like trying out for all these teams, practice squads, and and I was like, if I make one of these teams, I make the league, I'm gonna come look for you. And so I saw her in LA like 80, 81, 82. Later, when I was out, I was trying out for one of the teams, and I ran into her because I saw she was playing somewhere out there. And I said, "Hey, I told you if I'm with one of these teams, I'm gonna come out and see you." But I was a little younger. She was a little older than me. She was probably 7, 8 years older than me. She was probably, when I was 22, 23, she was probably 30, 31. I'm guessing she's a little older than me. But that chick was bad. She was bad. Oh, you say PJ said they do look alike. Okay. They do look alike. Yeah, that's why I always thought, just going by the video, I never knew who did what. And I knew that was all keyboard song, though. with Venusians. So that's why I figured it was him. But man, Florence, ooh, I hate thinking about her. Patrice Rushen at the airport in St. Louis. I never met her. You saw Phyllis Hyman, yeah, tall, thick, and from what oh my goodness, that woman. Stacey Lattisaw. I met Stacey because Narda produced her. She was super young. Somebody told me she had got coked out. Cheryl Pepsi Riley. What is she saying? To be real, got to. I think that's Cheryl Lynn. Cheryl Lynn. I think Narda produced her. I may be wrong. Narda produced Cheryl Pepsi Riley. I'm in love. I think that's what she. I'm in love. I think that's what she did. But I met her and I saw her sing. Stacey Lattisaw, range-wise, I don't know. They was talking about Mariah Carey, but Stacey Lattisaw, yeah, range-wise is a young girl because when he brought her around, woo. Let me see. My brother was born in 1966. Man, it was 1978 or 1979. So, maybe she was born in 1964. She might have been a little older than my brother because I think when he brought Stacey, she was only about 14, 15. She was real young when he brought her around. He was producing her. Cheryl Lynn, yeah, Cheryl Lynn. Cheryl Lynn hit you with that pimping. Oh, Florence Hyman. I mean, she was real. She just took my beer. I walk in there and she's like, "Oh, you got the cess." I'm like, "I got the cess." And I had some beers with me. I had like beers in a bag. And she just grabbed the beer out of my bag. Like she paid for the weed and she just grabbed the beer. She didn't ask me. She's like, popped it open, started drinking it. She might have took two because we smoked, and then she's like, "Well, I'm about to go out." And I think she took another beer from me because she had a beer out and she cussed the audience out. Like, "What you drinking? Heineken, motherfucker. What it look like? Green goddamn bottle. What other kind of bottle green like this?" She's just talking shit. But yeah, she could sing too, though. She could sing too. Oh man, she was beautiful. I mean, she had to be in her early 30s when I was in my early 20s. Yeah, really beautiful. Sad story that happened to her for such a beautiful woman that could sing. Yeah, really sad. But Stacey Lattisaw had a range too. And Cheryl Pepsi Riley, I can't think of her hit, but I know he produced her too. Yeah. So, hey, Dreadheads, thank you for joining. Thank you for joining me. Georgie Porgy, Cheryl Lynn sang on Toto's song. Yeah, she did. Yep, she sure did. Yep. But her hit was To Be Real. But I want to say is Pepsi Riley, Cheryl Pepsi Riley. Not a very pretty woman. Cheryl Lynn was pretty. This chick he did, Cheryl Pepsi Riley, they play her song too, though. Her song is one of them old songs they play in commercials. But Pepsi, I can't think of maybe that's the wrong name, but it was Cheryl, but everybody called her Pepsi. It was Cheryl Pepsi, but I thought it was Riley. So that's not Cheryl Lynn. Cheryl Lynn was a different chick, but she had a hit. Narda produced and gave her a hit. I mean, I'll tell everybody, I've said it before, Narda's on his first album was Jeff Beck on lead, Sissy Houston singing background, and Narda. Jeff Beck on lead? Oh, overstand. Thank you for my child. Cheryl Bridget Pepsi. Oh, okay. Cheryl Bridget Pepsi Riley. Okay. Yeah, because that's what they called her, Pepsi. Everybody called her Pepsi. Yeah, Pepsi Riley. Pepsi. Yeah, that's what everybody called her, Pepsi. We didn't call her Cheryl. We called her Pepsi. Everybody called her Pepsi. She had a hit. I don't remember what the hit was called. Pepsi's done a redo of I'm Going Down Too. Okay. Thanks for my child. Oh, I see what you said. Thanks for my child. Okay. Pepsi done a redo. I'm getting down of I Am Going Down Too. Okay. I see what you're saying. Thanks for my child. Yeah. But that was one of the people he brought her around. She might have been my age. I want to say she was a year or two, but somewhere around my age. But he brought her around too. Clarence Clemens, he brought Clarence Clemens around. Shit, Narda, like, he has a sister. She's a year older but we graduated together, and they lived literally down the street. So I remember the Christmas of I think we was juniors. I don't think we was seniors. So that must have been the Christmas of 70s. Yeah, the Christmas of 76. Narda had came home, and I had smoked a fat one and walked down to her house because these are my people, you know. So I'm smoking a fat one. I go in and I sit down, and it was like the first time their dad, he was like, when my dad and them was having Cadillacs, her dad, Narda's dad, was driving Benz. He was like, yeah, I'm not with that Cadillac. He always had a different style. So he was driving Benz when everybody else was driving Cadillacs because my dad and everybody else was working for General Motors. But Narda's dad had the clicker. Now, I don't know if y'all hear old people call remotes clickers, because the old remote was about damn near big as this, more like this, probably more like this, maybe even wider and slightly shorter. And it only did this, click, 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 click. That's why they call them clickers. But I remember she was like, look what we got. And she showed it to me, and I'm like, what's this? She said, just start clicking it. So I'm clicking it and shit, and they had cable, and I'm clicking it, you know, click, click, click. They call them clickers. Like, if you ever see old people call remotes, hand me the clicker, that's because the first remote, all it did is just click, click, click. And it was like, well, damn, I'm high too. But Narda's upstairs on the keyboard. He is just kicking ass. And I'm high in the motherfucker, and I got the clicker. It's just me and her sitting there, and I'm clicking from channel. You know, before then, you had to get up and turn that motherfucker. And I'm sitting there, click, click. That shit was kind of fun to play with. Like, click, click. Like, damn, click, click. And he's upstairs just kicking ass. And I'm like, this was a good place to be when you was high. I got the TV clicker, cuz upstairs killing it, and I'm playing with the TV. Oh, remotes had channels up and down. Yeah, that's all. They were just the clickers. But it was fatter than this. It was like about like this. And yeah, just like he said, volume and just channel forward, channel back, clickers. But I remember the first time seeing that shit. I'm high them up and I'm just playing with the TV. She's like, yeah, that's kind of cool. I'm like, this shit is cool as hell. Yep, it was just a little basic little thing. But it was like better than getting your ass up and turning channels. But they live like right down the street from me, you know, right down the street. And so he would come home and listen to him get down. But his hit was I Don't Want Anybody Else to Dance With You. His biggest hit was I Should Have Loved You by himself. I should have loved you. That was his biggest hit that he sang on Don Kirshner's rock concert. Yeah, Don Kirshner's, I think that's what it's called. No, Midnight Special. It was the Midnight Special. Nick, are you old enough? You're about my brother's age and Ted's age. So Ted was born in 68. So you're around their age. So they remember that. Yeah, Midnight Special. Narda was on Midnight Special. Oh, and then Madonna. I saw Madonna. I mean, Madonna used to be in Detroit. Rochelle Farrell. Oh, up, down, and volume up and down. Rochelle Farrell. Who is Rochelle Farrell? Yep, clickers. I was born in 6. Oh, okay. You 2 years older than my brother, because my brother turned 55 next week. Okay, so he was born in 64. So you must have graduated, what, 83, 80. My brother graduated in 83. So you must have graduated. Let me see. My ex was 82. So you must have graduated, what, 82, something like that? You was 64. Okay. Yeah, because I'll be 60 in June. And my brother will be 55. So you must about be 57. Okay. Yeah. Yep. Overstand. Who is Rochelle Farrell? I don't remember that name. Okay. Yeah. So Nick was around. Pablo Island, Cleaning Your Cars. 83. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because I think my brother would have graduated 84, 85. And then my brother just went into the Army. Instead of graduating, he got his GED in the Army. I think he went in the Army in 83 or 84. But my brother's born in 66. Yeah, he'll be 55 next week. Yeah, because I graduated 79. So you remember a lot of them experiences. Nick remembers slow dance. I know Nick can social. I mean, my mother raised me bopping. So, you know, when it came to socialing, I already knew how to bop. I mean, I still can bop. That's kind of how, you know, I learned how to dance. You know, mother taking you and teaching you how to bop. doing the spins and stuff. Then when you got old enough, you did the spins. I mean, people, that's romance. I mean, slow dancing is romance. And we're not taught romance anymore. But socialing is romance. And I mean, socialing a little more to it. But ball round dancing, your dad taught you how to dance. Yeah. I couldn't stand to see Cooley High Bandit burn down and falling down. Wow. Your dad had taught me. Yeah, but my mother, like I had cousins and stuff. Like I said, I learned the first dance I learned how to do was the twist. They taught, and I was young. I mean, young, like three, doing the twist. That was the first dance, listening to the Beatles. My father would come and get me out of the crib talking about, she loves you, yeah, yeah, yeah. With a love like that, you know it shouldn't be bad. And they're like, let's see you twist, Toby. And like a lot of people would perform in Western Michigan, and so they would come to the house and stuff. So we knew a lot of people. I met Diana Ross young. When I was 2 years old, met Stevie because my mother knew all them. My mother knew Barry Gordy, you know. That's why I was trying to, you know, before I got on her bad side, I was trying to get Johnny Bristol Jr. The Johnny Bristol Sr. did Do It To Your Mind. That was Johnny's hit, Do It To Your Mind. And he did Tammy Terrell and Marvin Gaye. He was the producer of Ain't No Mountain High Enough. So I wanted to get Johnny together, Johnny Jr. with Jill Jones. And I wanted to, and Jill had agreed. And then I said some shit on Facebook and we ain't friends anymore. I love the Beatles. Used to watch the cartoon on TV. I'll tell you a toy that they teased me with. I got this Christmas present of the Yellow Submarine, and you can buy them for about $100 and some bucks. But I had the Yellow Submarine, and it had wheels on it, and John and Ringo, like they pop in and out of it. So as you make the thing go, they pop in and out of it. But yeah, my father, he loved the Beatles, so he used to sing that shit to me all the time. And one time I had, like when I went to Greensboro, I had all their works. I had all their collections. I had all Jimi Hendrix stuff. I had all the Beatles stuff. Not, you know, albums, mugs, love music. Yep, I love the Beatles as well. You know, she's got a ticket to ride. She's got a ticket to ride. She's got a ticket to ride, and she don't care. My baby don't. I mean, come on. I love music, guys. And I can't sing. I can't hold a note. Beatles, Travis Stock. I just love music, you know. Like people saying Frankie Beverly, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to ignore you. I've saw Frankie Beverly live a few times, and Maze is amazing. I mean, I wish you well. I hope you find love too. Frankie Beverly. He said, I wish you well. I hope you find love too. Happy feelings in the air. Oh, let me mess y'all up. David Oliver singing Friends and Strangers, or I'm going to write you a love song. You can't get pimpier than that. Go up to a chick and tell her, I'm going to write you a love song and dedicate it to you. Seems like we're friends and strangers. I don't know what you're thinking of what I can't remember. Oh, we can make love every time something want to say. How did it go? What you content to be? You change the subject to some genuine. Oh, David Oliver singing Miss. That you talking about a range like Prince? David Oliver. Look up David Oliver, Friends and Strangers, and write you a love song. Shit, that shit. When you holding a woman, I'm gonna write you a love song. Oh, I'll tell you, they call it ballroom dancing now. We call it socialing. I love music too. Gonna check it out. 7 a.m. to be here. Thank you for hanging, Nick. Thank you for hanging so long. I know. Thank you, brother. One love, definitely. You know the Travis Stock Institute. You know about hit me to it. Travis Stock. I do not know about that. I'm sorry, I don't. Jill Jones is crazy. Yeah, Jill. We talked about that a couple of days ago. Jill is kind of. It's like she'll be cool with you one day, and you just like it's like I got a homeboy right now in Detroit, Les Blackburn. And Les, we talked a couple weeks ago, and he's like, well, next time we talk about the politics. I'm like, why would I waste talking politics to somebody that I love one of my teammates that did battle with me, motherfucker that we got drunk and had fun. Why would I waste that? Facebook is just rhetoric. My mother and I battle all the time. She's like, quit calling him that. Quit calling the names. You're smarter than that. Because it's a win-lose. People look at it win-lose. But me and my mother talk, it's like, okay, we talk about that shit and we move on. And some mugs, it's hard for them to get over it. It's hard. Like they ran one of my girls that she was tough for Trump. They ran her off Facebook. She was all in. Again, you got to be balanced. You know, I called Trump Uncle Imbecile. Now, I liked what he was doing with the country, but I still called him Uncle Imbecile. So now I call falling up the stairs Joey and Sister Girl. And, you know, I'm getting all these, what is she, an AKA? I'm getting all these, because some of my family, all these people, AKAs. That's disrespectful. I'm like, so what did they say about her this week? They said the Asian vice president, didn't they? She sure dissed Sister Girl pretty quick, didn't she? So, but people take that shit to heart. It's nothing but rhetoric. It's nothing but rhetoric. You can't take that shit to heart. Shit, because I talk shit on Facebook. What does that mean? That means I'm a bad guy? Rochelle, my daddy. Rochelle is a heavy hitter. I missed that. I want to catch that. Oh, is a heavy hitter vocalist. I would say she's jazzy. Okay, I got you. Bootsy Collins. I saw Bootsy. Let me tell you my Bootsy story, and I've told this story before. But I was in Pittsburgh with my cousin, and my cousin was like, first of all, he told me don't wear my straw fedora, and that was like, you'll get punched. And he was older. I was young. I was like 17, but we going into clubs no matter what. I'm this size, you know. And he's like, you might not want to wear your hat. I'm looking at him like, yeah, right. I wore my hat anyway. And so Bootsy comes on. So we go up, we get drinks, we sit down, and motherfuckers start playing Bootsy, Wind Me Up. I just grabbed the closest woman and started dancing with her and shit. And before you know it, the whole club, everybody started dancing and shit. And so I'm just having fun. From then on, I'm having fun with women. I could tell he was a little jealous because, you know, I'm like talking. So he takes me to a house party. Now I'm like 17. He might have been damn near 30. So he's like, you know, he's already jobby. And I got to squeezing on this chick, and she's about 24. I'm 17, but I ain't telling her I'm 17. I'm just spitting game. So we go out on the balcony, and, you know, I'm kissing on her neck, and she's like, won't you go with me? So I ain't tell my cousin nothing, and I just slid with her. Now, I'm in Pittsburgh. I'm 17. Was I 16? No, I think I was 17. I was 17. And I'm in Pittsburgh. And I didn't see my people for about 2-3 days. I just kicked it with her. Now, when I kicked it with her, she bought me some gym shoes and shit and some shorts so I could go to university and hoop and work out. But I kicked it with her I was only there about 8-10 days, and I spent 3 days with her. I just dissed him because he was tripping anyway. He's like, don't wear the hat. First thing this chick told me is like, I like your hat. That's what stood you out from everybody. That's why I knew I had to talk to you. And I'm like, loving it. And I spent like about 3 days with this chick. But Bootsy, wind me up. And I'm hearing that Bootsy, and I just grabbed the first woman. Wind me up. Huh, pull my string. I'll dance out. Oh, and then Bootsy got what's a telephone bill? How'd it go? So I'd like to do what you mean to do. If you hang up, I'll be through. Just living in a loving, waiting for the moment. If you got time to heal, if I can't get your love, what's the telephone bill? But then he hits you with, I'd rather be with you. I'd rather be with you, who? Yeah. Yes, I'd rather be with you. I'd rather be with you until I'm through. Oh, yes, I do. I'd rather be with you until that day. You talking about pimping music. And then he stopped out. We're stepping out, hanging loose on the rubber band. Oh, he had the Casper. They call me Casper, not the friendly ghost, but the Holy Ghost. Yeah, Bootsy was bad. Rhetoric indeed. There you go, Barbara. But Bootsy Collins was bad. Yeah, I saw Bootsy live too. That thunder bass. Oh yeah. Catfish Collins' brother. I don't know if people realize Catfish Collins that played with James Brown. You know, like you hear James Brown get up now when you gotta, like, people don't understand when you listening to the one in James Brown, like the song The Funky Drummer. There's two drummers playing at the same time. Listen to the drum. what's her name? It's just something I can't remember. It's just something. What's that chick's name? She's sampling the Funky Drummer. Keep in mind, it's two drummers playing at the. When you look up the Funky Drummer, you are seeing two drummers play, but all the music is on the one. I mean, two drummers though, two drummers, and you got Bootsy playing, and then you got Catfish playing the lead. Vanish in Our Sleep, good song. We got a lot in common. I think my older cousins hates me till this day because I messed with a chick that graduated with him. There you go. Bootsy from the Naughty. Yes. Because Bootsy, Bootsy's Catfish. Amir, one thing. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Lammy. Amir, one thing. That's two drummers. When you listen to that on some good speakers, you got two drummers playing identical, and they are just killing that shit. The Funky Drummer, a lot of people sampled that. A lot of rap groups sampled that. Oh, let me tell you, when I was 17, so before I go to college, I was going with one of my cousin's girls. She was 24. And before I left, that's who I was with. I was with this 24-year-old. Like my girlfriend, or did I get a little? No. Yeah, I was with Lorraine the summer I left because my girlfriend, let me see. Or maybe I was in college. No, hell no. No, it was my senior year when I was messing with Lorraine. Yeah, and I used to go down to Lansing and spend the weekends. Lorraine was like 24, 25. And then finally that's what it was. I met Lorraine before my senior year. Yeah, so I was 17 I met Lorraine. Lorraine was 24. And Lorraine is all religious and shit now. But Lorraine is about 5'10", 5'11", big booty. And that was my girl. And going into my senior year with all these football letters and stuff, Lorraine was my girl. And then my aunt jacked her up. My aunt said, look, you're not going to get pregnant by my nephew. My nephew in June is leaving here. Ain't nothing you going to do. He is going to leave here. And so my aunt made me quit messing with her. My aunt got in her ass. And my aunt made her quit messing with me, which kind of made me a little upset. But that was going to be my girl my whole senior year, was this 24-year-old. Yeah, pimping was real. And my aunt broke it up. My aunt got in her ass. My aunt brought us together and said, look, you leaving. You're not going to get her pregnant. You're not going to stay here. You are leaving in June. That's how my aunt looked at it. And she's like, she's not going to keep you here. And if you two keep talking, she will keep you here. And your plans ain't to stay here. I'm like, no, I'm leaving next June. As soon as I graduate, I'm going to school somewhere because I hadn't signed. I didn't sign until December. Yeah. Coach from A&T came up that December and watched me hoop. Amir. Yep, Amir. Delphonics was smooth. Yeah, I want to say I saw the Delphonics at Western too. I saw a lot of groups. My stepfather loved music and he would take me. I saw Marvin Gaye in Pittsburgh. One of them times we went to Pittsburgh. Matter of fact, Hurricane Carter was there. He was sitting like a couple rows up because we were sitting on the floor. And Hurricane Carter walked by, and then Marvin Gaye made him stand to the crowd. He was sitting a few people in front of me. Hurricane Carter. I ain't meet him, but I got to see him. He wasn't sitting that far from me. And I got to see Marvin Gaye singing Let's Get It On, all his hits. But that was in Pittsburgh. I never saw him in Michigan, but I saw him in Pittsburgh. Delphonics, didn't I blow your mind this time? Yeah. That's, the music the music you hear in ninth grade, you pretty much is like 13, 14. I love music. But love music makes you be a pimp. I mean, the pimp words, the way to talk to people. Dramatics. My favorite all-time group is another Detroit group called the Dramatics. And the line, I will search the universe in the galaxy of stars, but I'll never find one who as love you as you are. Shh. I mean, what else do you got to say to a woman? Because like my daughter's mother, the first thing I said to her is like, you're lovely. And that's where I got it from, that song. You see, and when you listen to love music and then you start, spitting your game, now how you going to spit game when, there's no music that gives you this motivation? If you don't hear love music to put you in that vibration, to bring them words out. I'm going to make you lose your mind up in here. I mean, yeah.
Yep, Bootsy's from the Natty. Yep. The Manhattans, yeah. Let's just kiss and say goodbye. Let's just kiss and say goodbye. Many months have passed us by. I'm gonna miss you. I can't lie. Yeah, Manhattans. Yeah. Now I never got to see them. I should write down all the groups I saw because I forget. But my stepfather loved music, so we always went to concerts. And in Western Michigan, they always had concerts. And then we knew, the Marvelettes, with Betty with Heatwave. I mean, like they show on TV. My mother and Betty are riding down the street, and they hear dancing the first time, dancing in the streets. Dancing in the streets, and that's Martha and the Vandellas. And my mother and her is riding with our bug, and they stop the car and they start dancing in the street because they going crazy, like, Betty, you're on the radio. I mean, this is a real story. My mother would tell that story, dancing in the streets. That was Martha and the Vandellas. Look at the dark-skinned chick, Betty Kelly. Yeah, we knew Betty. I didn't see Betty, gosh, after I got young and, Betty got to touring and stuff. And Betty still is with Motown because when they brought, because Johnny and his sister, what is Johnny's sister name? Charla Bristol. But they did a thing in Motown and you saw all the people. But Johnny was in a picture where Betty was in the picture too. So, because Betty got to be my mother's age. Betty got to be old. If she's still alive, she's old. She got to be 78, 79. I saw Prince a few times. I've been out there to the spot. I've been out to his spot. He stays in his spot is in Chaska. But yeah, I saw Prince first with Rick James. He led with Rick James. Everybody was able to see Rick James. That was when Soft and Wet was out. I think I told the story before. I had a girl in Atlanta and she called me like about Prince. Have you heard Soft and Wet? And like, nah. And then I got somebody to tape. And then when I went to college, Rick James was coming to Greensboro. So I got tickets and I went to see and Prince opened up for Rick James. And he sung Soft and Wet, I think was his only hit at that time. But Prince was, and then saw him in Greensboro 2 shows, and that was right around Purple Rain. He killed it. It was worth going to both shows. I went to back-to-back shows. It was worth it. Yeah, he killed it. And then I saw him outside of Macy's, and then the Dakota. If you come to Minneapolis, the Dakota is a nice spot for older folks. But you talking about live because I'm on their email things. And they're talking about they're going to open up. So hopefully next few months, we'll go down to Dakota and get to see live music again. Because that's kind of my spot. I kind of stay away from where it be a lot of young people, because young people are unpredictable. I want to go where everybody just want to go eat, have a few drinks, and listen to live music. I don't want to go where I've got to smack somebody up the head. I don't want that. I don't need that. I want somewhere where everybody just going for chill mode, Oh, check this out. When I turned off the mic and my son came in here, my son said, "You look like a Minnesota Wild scout." That's what he said before he left. He said, "You look like a Minnesota Wild scout, like you asshole." To find the classics, OG. I like a lot of stuff from the older areas. But yeah, Lammy, I saw Prince a few times. When I lived here in 94, 95, everybody worked for him. Everybody and his mama worked for him. I told the story about Flash. Flash was in a group where they did Prince songs, and Flash hooped with his hair whipped. So Flash would wear the bandana to keep his hair together, and Flash hooped with us. Quick could play, and then when Flash got dressed, we all took showers. He had the Prince hair. I mean, he dressed like Prince, but his Flash was the man. But he hooped with us. He was one of the, like with Pat Mahomes, when Pat Sr. was hooping with us, he was with that group. He was with our group. Flash was part of our group too. There's another guy from Michigan. His brother played. One was called Mercury Hayes. And what was the other younger brother played in Michigan? Because I used to mess with this. I ended up messing with this dude's wife years later. So it was Mercury Hayes. And what was the other one? I can't think of his name. But it was one brother that went to Michigan and his older brother was here. And I ended up messing with his wife. Because we got to talk and I'm like, "You're Mercury's woman?" She's like, "You know Mercury?" I'm like, "Yeah, that used to be one of the guys." I used to mess with his wife years later after they broke up, though. You've been to First? Yeah. Like I said this the other night. First Ave used to have First Ave would always have a Jamaican night, like a Jamaican weekend. Like they would play, reggae music all weekend, and First Ave would play reggae music. Yeah, First Ave. I've been to First Ave a bunch of times. It's a couple different stages, like you can go to the stage where Prince go, and it's another stage you can go to. So like where they feel Purple Rain is just one part of it. It's another part of it. But yeah, it's right down the corner. It's like Target Center, and then like it's right there where Target Center is. And then if you go up the street is Target Field. But First Ave sits on the corner, kitty corner from Target, where Timberwolves hoop. Yeah. I've been there a bunch of times. So it's like it's the stage where Purple Rain, but it's another area too. And they let the reggae festival. You talking about going in there and getting baked? Woo! Yeah, they just let it go up in there, serving drinks and everybody's smoking. It's one of the few places that you go where people would just openly smoke. But when they had Reggae Fest, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you could just get it on up in there. But yeah, First Ave. But it's like before all this hit, our downtown ain't a flyby. Our downtown, this is no exaggeration, our downtown would have about 15,000 people per night, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 15,000 people. It would be cops on horses and shit that had buses arresting motherfuckers. I mean, when you like, the thing about here that's fucked up is everything closed at 2. Now, you go to Detroit, you might not go to the club till 2, and the clubs stay open till 6, 7. But here, everything shuts down at 2. And you start shutting down, and you see all just million motherfuckers coming out there. 15,000 people per night in our downtown. No cap. 15,000 people per night. Yeah. Like you would see, it would be minus outside, and you see chicks with little mini dresses on. They might have a little jacket on, but they got mini dresses on and tights, and it'd be minus 10. And they in heels walking to the club because you got to park either in the ramp or you park where somebody, got a lot and you park in one of them lots, and you see chicks with that minus shit being cute walking to the walking downtown. So our downtown, that's what fucked up is Valerie, that's what fucked up Prince's hips. I'd say Prince might be, he like Sammy Davis size. Prince was like maybe Kevin Hart was taller than Prince. I want to say Prince and maybe Cat might be the same. Because I don't know, Cat is like barely not a midget. Because y'all remember on Atlanta ATL when Cat Williams is running, he got them midget arms. I don't know if y'all noticed that. When he was running, Cat is borderline midget. Prince didn't really have a midget kind of look, but Prince and Cat, about the same size. He's a little dude. But 2A, okay, Lammy there too. Now Detroit, you give a cabaret in Detroit, people in Detroit don't go out until Chicago people don't party late as Detroit people. Chicago people get to the club 11, 12, not Detroit people. Detroit people, you go to the club at 11, it'll be empty. You go to the club about 1:32, that's when people will be there. And then people will be there till 6, 7 in the morning. Now, if you hold a cabaret, motherfuckers will be there, But cabaret people come in about 2. And cabaret everything, like we would rent buildings. You bring in your food. You bring in Kid Rock had spun at one of our cabarets. Eminem just to drink and shit did one of the cabarets. I mean, it was nothing for them people to come in. The motherfuckers be asking us, can we perform and shit? And they'll pay and come in, or they want drinks. I mean, it was nothing for that. You get the building, you hold the cabaret, because that's what helped me. Doing cabarets helped me doing raves, because it was the same thing. It was kind of the same thing to do a cabaret. You didn't have to do as much promotion for the cabaret. Cabarets was a lot word of mouth. Whereas, when you do the raves, you got to print the card, you got to buy the ecstasy, you got to buy the water, you got to buy the blinking lights and shit so they can trip out when they start tripping. So, but that taught me how to do raves, and the raves was very successful. I made a grip on raves. I got mentioned, a goddamn pill bottle like that. I robbed this simp. I robbed him. He was a mark. He thought he was hustling, and I just beat him out of that. And that shit was, I want to say ecstasy pills was man, 80 to $100, and I don't know, it might have been, I don't know how many was in that motherfucker, but it was a bottle like that, and I just took it from this mug. It might be closing to 3. No, here is 2. Now, when they had the All-Star game here in the Super Bowl, they kept them open till 4. When the Super Bowl was here in the Final Four, they kept the bars open till 4. But normally it's everything cuts at 2. But it's like here, if you like my older son is 25, about to be 26 in April. I mean, it's the life. I mean, here was before all this, downtown was the life. It is shit to do every night. Like when I lived here in 94, 95, we went out every night. It was a bar to go to where motherfuckers be every night. And the one night we didn't go out was Saturday. We didn't go out Saturday night because usually it was a game. The Timberwolves played. So normally we didn't go out Saturday, but that was the only night. Every other night, like my boy, because like I've talked about this bar, the Greatest American Sports Bar, 3 bars and 1 giant bar, and 3 bars inside of this 1 giant bar. That was Sunday nights. We would get there and like you didn't want to pee because if you peed, you had to get back in line. And we walking in because we know the motherfucker taking the tickets, and you got pro players looking at us, and we walking by them. And they standing in line and shit. And we walking by them like we didn't drink beer because if you got out, you had to get back in line. So it's been a year since I went out. Yeah. Well, they started opening downtown up, but then they had the when the dude killed himself, like the bars had opened back, and then that motherfucker killed himself, and they started rioting again, thinking that the police then did something to him, and he killed himself. And so downtown they're getting ready. And I might do some reporting this week or next week about the shit because I want to say the trial start Monday. Trial start Monday. What time is it? Oh, okay, it ain't too bad. So the trial starts Monday, the Floyd shit. So a lot of that shit is boarded back up. So they had opened up for a minute, but that shit, great. This is my great grandmother's porcelain or china. This is china, Rio China. I broke almost all of it. I guess I can keep it here for now. I want to break this motherfucker. I made a mistake and took the shit out the boxes and they had nowhere to put the shit. That shit's about 80 years old. And I broke most of it. That's how it goes, though. The Fernando dude killed himself. Yeah, that dude killed himself. Yeah, the Fernando dude. That dude that did some shit, and I have pictures of it. I put it on my old channel. That motherfucker put the shit over by Target. Killed right downtown. And downtown had just opened up, and then everybody, they started rioting and shit downtown. So right now, not Fernando. No, that wasn't him. That was another dude. Another dude killed himself. I don't think that was his name, PJ. I don't think his name was Fernando. Fernando was the dude. He got killed in that school Kevin McHale's children went to. Can't think of that little town, that suburb. Maybe that was his name. I don't know. But he killed himself. I mean, I had it on video on my other channel. That motherfucker, you can just see his head and you can see the spray and shit. Because I was wondering if it was fake. And then my man was hitting me. One of my man, James. I've had James on my other channel before. James was like, I don't know, man. This shit don't look fake to me. And they rioted downtown. So right now, all downtown is back boarded up. A lot of the bars that opened up, that shit's back boarded up. Because they got troops here. Troops is motherfucking downtown already. So this Floyd shit, they ready. This Floyd shit matter of fact, a lot of downtown is closed. And so just when everything was starting to come back, they had to close that shit again. So it's gonna be interesting. So my partner, one of my friends, Sean, he's from Detroit too. I wonder, Nick might know this brother. He might know Sean, but Sean he's a painter. So Sean is taking artists down there and they're gonna do some painting. And I was telling him, the NFTs. I was like, man, do some paintings of Floyd's and put that shit in NFTs. Might be able to make you a little cheese and shit. So Sean will be down there tomorrow. I might do some reporting down there. But we'll see. But it's gonna be intense here. There's troops living downtown. And did y'all hear what they did to at Duke? Duke University released somebody did Floyd's toxicology report that the state did. They said he died of a drug overdose. The family got a toxicology report, said he died of being choked to death. But Duke University, somebody was handing out printouts of what the state here came up with, because that's what they're going to try to say. They're going to try to say he died of having fentanyl in his system. But the thing about it was he wasn't ODing when he was standing up. Because remember what they did to that guy in New York. They put him and handcuffed him on his stomach and said he OD'd on cocaine. But he wasn't ODing when he was standing up. Floyd wasn't ODing when he was standing up. So how can, if you put handcuffs on him and put him down, how is that ODing? But what they're going to do is they already paid them. They already paid the family $27 million, which is a record here. I made a mistake and said $40 million for the Australian chick. They gave her $23 million, which again, this chick was a rec center yoga teacher. She might have been getting $10 per session per person. No way she was worth $23 million. But Floyd got paid more. His family got $27 million. And they're giving $500,000 back to this area for some fucking reason. Supposedly. We'll see. But so that shit's coming. But they're here. Hey, are you going to the Whispers Stephanie Mills Lenny concert in May at the Opium? Let me write that down. Maybe, Barbara. Maybe. You want to go with me? You want to go with me? We can have a date. We can go. What is it? May. I heard Stephanie. I saw Stephanie Mills do the Wiz. I saw Stephanie Mills do the Wiz, play the Wiz. I was up in New York, and I saw her do the Wiz. I saw fucking cats, guys. Meow, meow. That was some bullshit. I went high too, and I'm like looking at my girl, and she's like doing all the fuss about the tickets, and I'm like, this ain't shit, honey. This shit ain't shit. Meow, meow. I said, this ain't shit. Meow, meow. She got mad at me. Like, I don't appreciate bullshit. That shit's bullshit, honey. That cat shit, I saw that shit on Broadway. That shit wasn't shit to me, but she liked it. I will look into that. I'll look it up. You want to go? We can get some groups of people to go. Whispers. Yeah, that might be nice. Get dressed up. That might be something I can do. I might do that. Have some fun. Have some fun. But yeah, I saw cats. That was some bullshit. I saw the Wiz with Stephanie Mills, and oh my goodness. I don't know why they put Diana Ross in the movie, because Stephanie Mills killed it. That Lena, what is it? Lena, come on, lean on down the road. Yeah, Stephanie Mills killed that shit. Yeah. That Diana Ross couldn't touch Stephanie Mills. That was fucked up, Barry Gordy, because he messed with Diana Ross, put her in the Wiz. Stephanie Mills was the truth. And I just found out it was somebody else that did it too, some other singer. I saw Stephanie Mills on Broadway, or off Broadway. Maybe it was all Broadway. I don't remember if it was Broadway or off Broadway. I saw fucking cats on Broadway. The only good thing about going to plays, them motherfuckers take breaks every time. They take breaks where you can go smoke a joint and drink a beer and then go sit down. That shit is smooth there. I like that. But that cat shit, yeah. Meow, meow. I wanted to go on stage and just beat them all up. You know, that's how it made me feel. I'm like, these some punk ass cats. What's the point? Beat them all up. I want to beat all the cats up. And I told my girl, I'm like, I'm about to jump on stage and whoop all these cats' ass. This shit is some bullshit. Now watch me beat cats. And I bet everybody applaud for that shit. Like, thank you. Thank you for beating these stupid ass cats up. That was some bullshit. I don't know what they got about that shit. That shit was some bullshit, y'all. Go see the movie. Or you don't think so? Go see the meow meow. That shit was irritating the motherfucker. But I like the breaks. Well, we're gonna have intermission. I'm like, what is this? Like halftime and shit? She's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, let's go have a drink. Smoke a joint in front of the theater. That was okay. But then when I got high, I had to go back in there and watch more of the same shit. These stupid ass people. Yeah. I don't have patience like that, y'all. But I saw The Wiz with Stephanie Mills. That shit was the bomb. That shit was the bomb. Lean on down the road. Yeah, Stephanie Mills. But yeah, Cats. Yeah, that was a waste of time. I can just say I saw that shit. I'm not saying I enjoyed that shit. That shit was not enjoyable. No, I don't know. Maybe I'm not an artist lover. Maybe I don't love enough art, but that was some bullshit. Remember somebody mentioned the movie. I'm like, hell no, I would never go through that shit again. That was a waste of money. And I think I bought the tickets then. I think I gave her the money and months ahead and she got that bullshit. And yeah, that was some bullshit. I guess I can't appreciate that kind of art because that was some bullshit. Of all the kind of things I saw, that was the worst. I like my little boy's little play where my boy got up there and just hit a triangle and shit. I enjoyed that more than them goddamn cats. Oh, that shit just, oh my goodness. I'm sitting there like, oh, overstand Mocha. Absolutely. I just thought of her when we was discussing all those artists. I'm a Baby. A majority of my faves are from my childhood or before my time. They said the cats looked like they was on crystal meth. That's what I'm saying. Everybody, meow, meow, like every other line. What, like, just talk, motherfucker. You talking cats. What you got to put the meow, meow shit in there for? You are talking cat, so goddamn talk. Don't meow, meow every other goddamn word. And they're prancing and shit. Yeah. And then I saw, what was the stomping shit? I saw something like that. It wasn't a stomp shit, but it was something they had before that. There was someone very similar. And that shit was better than them stupid ass cats. Yeah, 80s. Yeah, it was, looks like they was on. Oh, they definitely, I agree. That shit was tripping. Because at first to see that shit, plays are kind of slow anyway. And, you sitting there, motherfuckers ain't saying shit. And I'm just looking around all these stiff motherfuckers. And I'm like, I'm like this. And motherfuckers is like, and I'm like, this is some bullshit. And I'm looking up and looking at the seats and wondering how much they paid for them goddamn boxes they sitting in. And then you see motherfuckers put their head down, snorting some cane and shit, that motherfucker in the boxes. I'm kind of laughing to myself. Because you see motherfuckers go down and then they, and they're doing like this and shit. And I'm tripping. Because I'm paying attention and shit. And I'm looking at this shit. I'm like, damn, I wonder how much they paid for them tickets. And these motherfuckers is like this. They just watching this stupid shit. And I'm like, oh my goodness. Well, what do they say? Kill me now. Kill me now. Put me out of my goddamn misery. But the timeouts helped. Whatever intermission, I like that shit. Oh, what? I can go get a drink and stand up? I like that part of it. But yeah, that cat shit was some bullshit. That ain't for me. It wasn't for me. It was a bad decision for me and my date, whoever I went with. It was a bad decision. You never know what you fall into, guys. Well, I know I'm gonna have to get up. So this has been fun. I didn't fly. Oh, yeah. Okay. I did want to start in with this. I did want to end with this. So as I was trying to show people, cat spells bowel cough. All right. Now, I've been ending with trying to show people how to get in the Zar pattern. But one thing I want you to understand is time is not a circle. Time is a straight line. And time is a replay. Like you had that Allen's, what was his name? That book that I was talking about, Click, and it was a what's his name? Used to play on Saturday Night Live. I can't think of the Jewish faith person, but he had a movie called Remote or something like Click where he could replay. But time is like that. Time goes like a line backwards and forwards. So that's what I was trying to get you to understand is when you're dealing with time, you are not looking for doors. You're actually looking for the strips of time. That's why I was saying don't look for doors. You actually want to see the strips because that's how you have to gauge how you go forward. Now, that's why I did the exercise where you walk forward. Now, if you replay, you take steps back. That's a replay. That's rewinding. But the real going back in time is not a replay. You're actually sliding back. So if you understand, because you're going to start, you always have to have a starting, you have to have a starting point. So a lot of times, if your starting point is here and you want to go back in time there, then you are going to slide back to that starting point or the point you aim at. But you have to understand, you have to know that. And that's why the practice of the replay helps people understand that, because you're going to see like time is like a ribbon. It's almost like a ribbon. When you come into a hallway and you're dealing with time, it's almost like a ribbon is running, and you can have full control of this ribbon. But the replay is just giving you an understanding. That's why I did it short, because again, you can't just practice and think you're going to go back 20 years. You got to go back, like you said on Umbrella Club, learn to go back seconds. That's why I was saying the replay of taking the steps back and then sliding from 5 to 1. This is kind of how you have to practice it to even understand the concept. So that's why I was showing. So if you want to practice that, that's how you practice. You practice coming into a room. You practice the ribbon of time or straight line. You do a replay, which is following your steps backwards. So you start at 5, but you keep your legs apart. You go backwards. Then you start from 5 to slide back to 1. This is the practice, because you don't want to try to practice to go back to 1882. I mean, it's going to, if you could do it, you would be so confused. It would take you almost a week to realize what you have done. I mean, it would be hard, even seeing it, it would be hard for you to phantom, I guess is the word. And I'm getting a cramp in my foot. Okay. Get out my leg cramp. So that's a practice you can do. But remember to take every step. But visualize the ribbon of time. Visualize that. Learn to work more with a room than they say the ethers, because don't worry so much about leaving your body. I think that's what people get caught in. Like I told the story of the young man. He just was like, oh, I want to learn how to, astral travel. I want to learn how to leave my body. Don't worry about that, because you can achieve that. You can achieve being in the ether and you won't think you left your body. It won't give you, no, let me take that back. How do I want to put it? You don't have to have the outer body feeling, okay? Like when you take Motivite, when you take Sugar can tap you out of your body pretty easy. It's such an energy that it will just push you out of your body, but you get that ghost feeling. Because if you haven't grounded something, it will leave you like you see a ghost in like the air and the air conditioner and fans. It will give you that kind of feeling. You're not going to experience much feeling that, because you're not grounded enough, and you're really going to be feeling like a damn ghost. You're just, okay, you left your body, but what's the aim? Like just with this, I've hit this note and it's pushed me out of my body. I didn't mean to go out of my body, but it's like I hit a note and immediately just pushed me out, like Doctor Strange. Like, and I've told this story before. I'm like pushed out of my body. I'm looking at these hot dogs in the back of my neck, and I'm laughing at myself. I'm like, damn, my son's right. I really do have fat hot dogs back in the back of my neck. But my point was that wasn't my aim. It was just I was vibing high enough. So I guess my point is you can move through this stuff without feeling that you're leaving your body. I guess is my point. You don't have to feel that. That shouldn't be just your aim. It's just to leave my body. That shouldn't be your aim. Your aim is to do something, is my point. And I know a lot of people just say the ethers and the astral plane. That's cool, but I try to give you the warning that these motherfuckers is there too. They're there too. That's why they invented acid. They take the mushrooms. They got people that go there. Remote viewing. I mean, some of you may be able to do that. Some of you may be able to leave your body to go look at something else and then come back and write it down exactly what you saw. So it's a lot of different avenues of spirituality. That's why the book, I got to bring that book out and show all these different sensitivities. I'll put the inset up. But there's so many sensitivities. We all have magic. We all have magic. Okay. I did want to. Okay, I guess we will. I am going to do an exercise. Okay, I forgot about this. This is completely different. So, yeah, okay. So I will give an exercise. I forgot about that. We're going to do something different, a little bit different. Kind of same, but a little bit different. So, yeah, okay. Let me get ready. Let me see how I want to do this. All right. So those that want to close your eyes, it's going to be a little different though. But we want to start from the hallway. I think that's a good place. So we're in the hallway. It's okay if you see the ribbons. Again, there's nothing going to be above us. You can see stars. The floor is going to be free as well. It's just walls. But it's a hallway in every way. It's a hallway. Let's open it up. But this time, we're not going to move. Our aim is not to move. Okay? So if you're standing or sitting, stay in that position and imagine that you're standing or sitting, whatever most comfortable now. You don't have to stand because we're not going to move. We're not going to move forward or backwards. I'll say that. So get as comfortable as you can feel. Okay. Now I want everybody to make a fist. Just make a fist. Tight as you can make it, make a fist. Now take your hand, flex your hand and then make the fist. Now, what we're concentrating on is something small. Okay. So relax. You can take the fist off. But I'm showing the fist because what we're going to start doing is getting smaller. All right. Now, I'm just going to try to give reference because it's kind of hard to give everybody the proper reference. So I'm going to try to give you the proper reference. So, okay. The first thing that we want to imagine is, this is perfect. Okay. The first thing that you want to imagine is put yourself as a circle. Now, those of you that feel the square, that'll work just as fine. If you can't feel yourself being a circle, that's fine. But in whatever you want to be, circle or square, whichever relates to you is fine. Either one work. So some of you can't be the circle. Some of you can be the square. That's not the problem. So at first, imagine the circle or square around your feet like a rubber band. Okay. And the other one's going to be on the top of your head. So imagine that you have like a circle around your head that wraps around your feet. All right. Now feel that. Tighten it up just a little bit where you feel it tight around your feet and you feel it tight around your head. Now this is going to be the fun part. We're going to shorten it a few inches. So make it like kind of tight as it's uncomfortable, slightly uncomfortable tight. So feel it around your feet, feel it around your head, uncomfortable tight. Now this maybe I lied a little bit. Maybe we are going to have to move a little bit. Now we're feeling it that it's tight. We feel it tight against our heads. We feel it tight. And then you're probably going to feel a little bit in your shoulders. It's really tight. Now this time we have to shrink about 10 inches. Take 10 inches off yourself and tighten the rubber band more. Now when you do that, we should feel not so uncomfortable because again, we've taken 10 inches off our whole self. All right. Now imagine taking 10 more inches. So make it tighter, but you have to get smaller. It won't work if you're not getting smaller, but we're only going 10 inches at a time. Take 10 more inches. So every time it gets smaller, if you don't want to feel it pressing on you, you've got to compress. So we take 10 inches, you compress. 10 inches, compress. So the rubber band is not as tight, or the walls is not as tight. Take 10 more inches, compress. 10 more inches. Compress. Make yourself smaller. 10 more inches. Compress. 10 more inches. Compress. 10 more inches. Compress. 10 more inches. Compress. Now we should all be a lot smaller, but the rubber band should be more comfortable because we've made ourselves smaller. Now, if you're a little bit behind us and the rubber band is uncomfortable to you, that's okay. Try to compress enough to catch up with everybody. It's on your time. It's on your feeling. 10 more inches, compress it all. 10 more inches, compress it more. 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 10 more inches, compress more. Now, all of us should be fairly small. Don't let it be uncomfortable to you. Fall out. If it's uncomfortable, fall out. Go back. It's all right. Those of you with me, we're going to go really quick. So understand. 10 more inches, compress. 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 10 more inches and compress. 10 more inches and compress. All right now we're about the size of a beach ball. Those that are with me are the size of a beach ball. If it's uncomfortable, go back. Those of you that are with me with the size of a beach ball. Now the next aim is to be the size of a softball. So this is going to be pretty rapid. So if you can't stay with me, that's all right. Don't make yourself uncomfortable. But those that are with me, it's going to be pretty quick. So let's go. 10 more inches and compress. 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 All right. Right now, we're the size of a baseball. If you are uncomfortable, break out of it. I do not want anybody that can't keep up. Go back. Just watch. That's okay. Right now, we're the size of a softball. The next step is going to be the size of a golf ball. It's going to go rather quickly. So those of you can stay with me, stay with me. If you can't stay with me, break out. That's all right. So with the size of a softball, our next aim is the size of a golf ball. If you're ready, let's go. 10 more inches and compress. 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 Now, those that are with me, we're the size of a golf ball. We're the size of a golf ball. If you're uncomfortable, break out and go back. Those that are with me, this is going to be the biggest jump of all. We're going to go from a golf ball, we're going to go to a pinhead. This is going to go rather quickly. So those that can hang, this is going to go rather quickly because we have a lot of movement that we have to do. But if you're with me, let's go. 10 inches and compress. 10 inches is a lot. 10 inches and compress. 10 inches and compress. Because we're measuring 10 inches from a golf ball. We're changing the 10 inches. But to just give you reference on how much more we have to go to become a pinhead, I'm just using the 10 inches as a reference. So 10 inches and compress, 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 just compress, just compress, just compress, keep compressing, hold it, keep compressing, keep compressing, keep compressing. Those that are with me are the size of a pinhead. If it's uncomfortable, break out of it, go back. But
Those that are staying with me, we are the size of a pinhead. We are not done. The goal is to go quantum. The goal is to feel yourself in the quantum gardens. I can't really explain it, but we're going to go. Now, the jump is we're going to disappear. So understand that this is going to make you disappear. Now, people watching me, no, I'm not going to disappear as you're looking at me on camera. But people that are with me as a pinhead, we are going to physically have to disappear to go into the quantum gardens. So those that are with me, those that are part of a needle, let's go. Just compress. Just compress. Just compress. Just compress. Just compress. Okay, it's going to come. We're going to disappear, but do not panic. Just compress. Just keep compressing. Just keep compressing. Come on, hold it with me. Keep compressing. Keep compressing. Keep compressing. Keep compressing. Keep compressing. Oh, okay. That wasn't comfortable, but all right. Oh, all right. Okay. I know what's done to me, so I can imagine how you feel. All right. Now, this is where the ribbons of time help bring those ribbons back. Time doesn't disappear just because we're quantum. Might help for reference. So create the ribbons on each side and understand that we are in the quantum field or the quantum gardens. Technically, you can't even see us using a magnifying glass or a telescope, microscope. That is the aim, is to be microscopic, to experience the nothingness, the seeing nothingness, but feeling something. The seeing or being nothingness, but seeing something. Those of you that are with me, as soon as we get done, make sure you write everything that you felt. What do you hear? What colors do you see? What do you hear? You hear this? Here. There's a sound. Okay, let me try to give it to you. Feel that. All right. If you can't see it, you can hear it. All right, we're going to break out. We're just going to break out. It's like an elevator. All right, it's going to be pretty quick. So those of you that feel like you got to throw up. But it's going to be pretty quick breaking out. Break out really fast. I'm going to have to, okay. All right, so the way that we're coming back, I'm going to make it easy. So we're going to step out the quantum gardens, follow the ribbon, but you're going to have to go back. Just step backwards. Get back in the room. Get back in the hallway. All right. Now, this is going to be like an elevator. So this is going to be really quick. Yeah, maybe we should have put cotton for you guys. I'm sorry. Didn't think about that. It's going to take a little work. So, all right. Whoever wants to push the button, that's when we'll go back. So who's with me, push the button and we'll start going back. Okay. All right. Come back into your own. Pinhead, baseball, softball, beach ball. Break out of it. Keep pushing. I'm running the elevator, so it's moving. We're coming up. We're coming up. We're coming up. Ugh, I'm gonna fucking puke. Stop, cat. Stop. Hope no one else got sick. Okay. That was a little harder than what I thought. Okay. Gather yourself. Mm. That was a little harder than I thought. Okay, I got it. Okay. Okay. Well, thank you guys. The movie was Click, yes. And what Click shows you is how to go back. And how to and as you see in the movie, they don't really he doesn't really transverse time. He just does replays or forwards. So thank you guys. Thank you for the cooperation. Thank you for being with me. I appreciate it. Those of you that hung with me, I wanted to show you something new. So I have a few people that went with me, a few more than what I thought, because elevators have a weight limit, and a few more people were with me than what I anticipated. So thank you. So, but it's just there's a lot of different ways. There's a lot of different ways to move. So don't just think it's ethers and the astros. There's other ways, and that's my aim. I'll be okay. It's just more people was with me than I thought. So this is the Chocolate Mountain Show. As you all know, I always say Eshan's rap. I'm not a New York rapper or a LA gang banger. I'm just an old school Detroit crack slinger. This has been the Chocolate Mountain Show. Thank you very much. Till we meet again.